Hello, friend. Ooh, that's not good. Hold on.
Are two people connected to your channel?
Again.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There we go. Now we're good. Hello, friends. Welcome back to another evening of Dungeons and Dragons. We are NotGreatRPG. We have a returning friend. He's back. He's furiously tapping his phone. Hello.
It's gonna be a thrill to have you back, Paul.
So we have regained Felix. Buck is out for the evening, as the rest of our crew will venture through the lovely frozen Bad City Big Cold, as we do. But we'll go around the table real quick, introduce ourselves and our characters, and then we will pop into the action after a quick recap of last week's episode. So I am Don Boosted Gorilla, and I play Ether Revia, the Grave Domain Cleric, in this one.
I'm not Lawrence, both in lack of face paint and positioning in the room, and I play Yalum Lo.
I'm Paul, and I play Felix.
I'm Sarah, and I play Ritora, not Buck. Not playing Buck. It's just, I'm not gonna sit like that.
Really close to
Like-
Nescrim, especially after what happened with him throwing you under the bus last
I mean,
time.
I did shower today. Like,
Nescrim did.
We've drawn the line.
yeah,
We sat that close every week, but
it's right here.
not anymore.
Yep.
See, the thing is, if there's room on this side of me, and I'm like this close to you, that's a very uncomfortable position
That's
to be
fair.
on. I need an
That's
equal
fair.
amount of distance between.
There's more room for snacks this way.
Yeah, I mean-
Also,
Snacks.
I have so many snacks over here.
Snack space.
Oh yeah, hi. I'm DJ, and I play Nesgrim. Yeah.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
Yes, and I am John, the Dungeon Master of the City of Oshuamp.
Is he on my?
I did 7.
I'll unmute you. That one might have...
That one also might be broken.
I don't know if it's the button or me reprogramming it at the last second.
Okay.
I might have the wrong channel.
That's fine. Just leave me unmuted forever.
That's fine.
Okay, so I'll try again. Last time that we were playing, the silver blades of the chakrams, Ritori used the one to break through the vines that were gripping at her leg as they had broken through the dirt inside of Corin's basement. We then decided, holy shit, we absolutely need to flee this place immediately. We watched in horror as the vine hooked itself, parted the dirt once more, and disappeared from our sight as we hurried out into the snowy mornings. We realized that we were going to be splitting up now because Yalum Lo has his own reservations and agreements made for his stays inside of the City of Oshuamp, and the other 3 companions returned once more to the Quiet Night to Eliza to attempt to get their rooms back. Yalum Lo was thrilled as he met Alice in the morning to find out that his room had been kept despite not having been returned to the city for several days after that logging catastrophe and the going rumors that he was one of the individuals that died out in the snow. He was able to get his room back, go up, spend a long night's rest, find all of his old belongings that obviously he doesn't take everything out on a logging expedition. All of his things are still in his room and good for him. He slept soundly for the night. Our other 3 companions, 2 of them slept soundly for the night, Ether and Ritora.
I slept wonderfully.
Yep, had very pleasant, easy dreams.
Technically, we didn't actually sleep.
Correct, you meditated and watched a corner.
That's 2 characters now that I get to do that.
I, on the other hand,
Yeah, Nesgrim had the worst time in the entire campaign outside of physically dying.
Yep.
This was a similar experience to that. I will not read the horrifying things that Nesgrim saw in his dream, because the other characters still are unaware of what Nesgrim saw.
how do you even begin to explain that?
Yeah, did you rewatch it so this way you could get all of it?
I sure didn't, and I should have.
Great.
I have decent notes for it, though.
That's fine. if you have questions about it, I'll happily re-deliver the message that you were given.
Re-horrifying.
Yeah, I'll scare you all over again just for fun.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, so Nesgrim awoke in a pool of sweat. Yalumlo awoke in the Toasted Lady in the morning, went downstairs, got breakfast from Alice, and made his way over towards our friends. We purchased the Daily Oshuamp the morning before from Timothy Poster Jr., the lovely little boy. Yes, Paul, I'm sure you appreciate Tim Poster Jr. He's back in the city. Really thrilled to have another poster.
I'm sure it's the original. I'm sure this time.
It's a junior. He's small now, Paul. It makes sense. Yeah, we purchased the Daily Oshuamp. We were horrified by the news, as usual. We gathered ourselves, had some breakfast in the quiet night. We annoyed the shit out of Eliza and her poor little orphan child, Benjamin, who pisses himself like always, and Ether probed his thoughts, got really in-depth, found out some horrifying things about poor little Benjamin's backstory, continued to press onward as Eliza told him to please stop bothering her son, as he was very upset and had already had a very difficult night. He pointed out as Ether offered him a white skeletal finger that you obviously give to a kid. He called it the white bone, and we got scared. So we fucking left, because that's scary that a little boy knows that phrase.
You work with what you got, all right? I don't have toys. I'm not Santa.
Yeah,
I got bones. So light up bones. It's like, it's Etch-a-Sketch, light, bright thing, but bones.
Yeah. Totally the same.
It's nothing like that.
It's nothing like that. So yeah, we left. We went over to Beggar's Market. We met Henry and Jules, the only couple who were occupying a stand in Beggar's Market in the midst of the very heavy snow here today. We picked up some new jobs from the job boards. We went towards the northeast part of the city to try to be able to get towards Logger's Hall so Yalum Lo could check in with his companions. As we did so, we passed by a silver-haired, fancy-looking man dressed in purple silks who was giving directions and orders to the guards, and noticed our companions as we were walking up an adjacent street, concluded his conversation, ran over to us, and immediately requested, or inquired whether or not we needed homes in the city. We tried our best, as Ritora and Nesgrim did, to weave their way through a complicated conversation.
He was a very nice man.
A very nice man. I love Arthur.
Nice man.
I love Arthur so much. He introduced himself as Arthur. He said that he owns many of the vacant homes inside of Slums West. He also employs people as laborers in case these guys ever have a requirement for some helping hands. Yeah, he introduced himself as the architect and pointed towards the northwest corner of Slums West, towards a large 3-story standing cobblestone building, and said that this was indeed his home, and that if you wanted to get by, you would need to use the moniker, the architect, to the guards to be given entrance. We went further towards the northeast part of the city. We arrived at Logger's Hall, which is actually just an abandoned building that the, wood crafting people kind of spruced up a little bit.
Spruce.
Right? Thank you. I really like that you like my tree jokes, DJ.
Sorry, that just caught me.
Was that intentional?
It was intentional. I didn't realize it would get DJ as much as it did, but thank you, CMS. Yeah, so we were, Yalum Lo was distraught to see that the Logger's Hall was seemingly empty. Dark and cold, and the doors barred and locked, and no one inside. I don't remember whether or not you guys had previously told him about the potential dissolution that was alluded to in the Daily Oshuamp. Probably not. Communication's
No, because I
great.
think we got
I'm gonna
the
guess we
Daily
did.
mentioned
Oshuamp.
it.
Alice mentioned it to you. That's right. Okay. So you decided to go a couple of doors down towards his one good companion, Seamus, to check in with him, which Seamus was in a bit of a hurry, packing his bags, rushing away. And as these guys don't know what happened, I will not reveal any additional details from that as well. Secrets are secrets.
We were in the room for that interaction.
No, you weren't.
No?
We were in this room, but not in the room in the game.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
No.
that's right. I didn't have
Were
you
we?
guys
No,
leave
you
because
didn't send us out.
Yeah, you guys
we
were
were at
present.
the end of the session, so I was trying to get it done.
There's a
That's right.
Felix that wasn't present, though.
Correct. So
Yeah.
there was a Felix that wasn't present.
Yeah.
So Seamus said some shit to Yalum Lo, and Seamus decided to make his way out quickly and quietly in the middle of the day. We started to go through Seamus's belongings. We found the horrifying thing in the burlap sack that Yalumlo has in his belongings, and the stark, smeared, white face, almost like chalk, on the front of that figurine, on the bark. And we will begin here, standing outside of Seamus's home in the northeast corner of Slums West, as we have gathered all of Seamus's things, closed the door, and stepped once more out into the cold, into the middle of the day. As you guys are standing out here in the street, you see, only a few feet down because you guys were very close to the edge of the street, walking at the very end, heading southward, the recognizable face of Felix at the end of the street.
Holy shit, he's alive.
Is that guy blue?
I think
Or is it green?
It's green.
He's green. Yeah.
It's
Felix?
definitely green.
Felix.
Felix.
I'll kind of like look over.
I just kind of wave.
I do this.
Yup.
Hello.
I'm just gonna look around. Are there any other people in this area?
So it is...
Middle of the day?
Yeah, there are people that are gathered outside of the Toasted Lady, so that would be a few more buildings over towards the left, so a little more in the street than where they are currently located. But they look like they are occupying themselves with their lunches, because this is early-ish afternoon, so around like 2 to 3 p.m.
I'll walk over towards them. I'm about, 20 feet away?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you approach and you see your good friends here.
I'm gonna turn to Ether as he's approaching and say, "Is that the one that you said was cursed?"
He prefers I not say that, but yes.
That's the one, though, right?
He's the wet one that I
Yes,
told you
he's
about.
the one
Yes.
that's
That was
always
the
a
curse?
little wet. Yeah.
Yes, always
Wait,
always a
I'm gonna-
little wet.
You're alive.
Where?
Hello.
Yeah, he's just standing here now.
Hello? Yes, I'm alive.
Where in the world did you go, and why did you leave by yourself?
What do you mean? I went to Katie's.
Oh. You just left us in the fucking orphanage?
Yeah,
A
it
lot.
was safe. We defended it.
It was not safe.
No, there
It was definitely
there was
not
much
safe.
more.
It was very not safe.
Oh, well,
Fine.
good thing
Have
I didn't
you-
stay. Hello there.
Yalumlo, by the way.
Nice to meet you. And I'll extend my hand.
I've heard very much about you.
What are you wearing?
Literally that.
Clothing?
It's now very wet.
Have you
quite
ever
cold. That's
seen perhaps have you ever seen a statue? Would you be terrified if it came to life and chased you?
Like a game? Or
Oh no.
Not a game.
No, not exactly. If
Definitely
a
not a
game
game.
is if murder is a game, then yes.
yes, I'd be scared. Why
Okay.
would that have happened?
It's a great question, but it did.
It did.
Someone
I may have
may
read
have
an
read-
inscription on it, perhaps.
He read poetry to the statue.
and
I
it
did.
may or may
Oh,
not still
oh.
be active in the basement of the orphanage.
Typically, you don't want to just read magical scriptures. You want to do research on them.
To be fair, he did not know it was magical when he read it.
That's fair.
have not-
What did it look like?
Paper with
it-
writing
wrote
It was carved into
Wait,
the base
hold
of the
on.
statue.
I'm just gonna roll my eyes.
And it may or may not have
I
been next
have
to
not-
some glowing writing. It's
Oh, glowing writing. I was glowing.
I have not come across many magical scripture in my life. I was not aware that something like that was possible or could happen. I apologize.
he read it before I could stop him.
Nesgrim almost
I'm
died.
sorry. So
Twice.
you were chased
Twice.
by a statue?
And a
yeah.
vampire.
You've also
thing
said that the
about
city
big
is
monster.
quite dangerous, and I haven't been chased by statues.
Oh, I'm sorry. Nesgrim died once
What?
and almost died a second time.
Yes.
What?
Yeah, I also
Oh,
died.
Not
would you mind
necessarily in that
describing
order.
the difference in appearance of Nesgrim or any of the others?
So from when you last left them?
Yes.
So Nesgrim doesn't look as though he has undergone any real transformations in his state of death. Yalum Lo has some pretty hidden features with his his mask and things like that, and he is clothed effectively from nose to toe. Ether and Ritora look the same. Ritora might look, I assume, a little bit more fucking distraught and just kind of worn down already by her 3 days in the city.
My eyes are just like a little wider.
Yeah,
and a
just-
little.
Oh, you're like bug-eyed?
I have seen...
What was the last thing that happened before you left?
He helped with the bandits, and then you guys went to sleep, and he was gone.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
He also,
Yeah.
The
He's-
bandits, and then me and you dealt with the people upstairs.
Yep.
We talked with Sister Madeline with her head problems.
Oh
You
boy.
have missed a great many
dear.
things, my friend.
You remember Sister Decio?
Yes, the one where, yeah.
Turns out she actually was fucking cursed.
Oh,
like really, actually.
maybe you shouldn't just throw that word around.
It's fine.
Which word are you referring to?
The C word.
Fucking? Oh, cursed.
Yes.
Why is that?
Please stop. There are no people around us, right? Right? Good. Because
Are you sensitive to the word?
typically you don't want to introduce someone as cursed when
You-
they're not.
But you
Seem
are.
a little sensitive.
I'm just gonna gesture. What happened here?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely...
and here-
Like, your collar from the chainmail is up, but, like, you can see that there is definitively a sealed scar that now extends. That would be the only physical difference for him.
That I can see.
Yeah, it goes from here to here. I mean, I guess as well, if your stuff isn't fully up either,
Right.
you would see there's puncture marks in the side of his neck.
Yeah, a lot happened. Yep.
That was that death 1 or 2 or both?
The bites?
The bite
Two.
was
The bite was
the
one.
bite was the
That was
almost death.
almost certain.
Almost that was
Yeah.
the
Mostly
almost
dead.
death.
Mostly
Mostly
dead.
I'm gonna slowly back away. What are you guys doing?
Oh, well, we were killing things.
We were saving
People
Sister
and orphans.
Madeline.
And orphans.
We had to save Sister Madeline a lot in the past
Several
couple
Those
days.
things are all mostly accurate, yes.
Oh, yes, I also got poisoned by dirt.
Okay, stranger.
There's the dirt. The dirt.
Yes, I also
Dirt?
got poisoned by dirt. Yes.
Why did you eat dirt?
Well, I didn't do it willingly. Or
It is a
Have
mystery
you heard him
why.
talk? Have you heard him talk?
Yeah, it's fine.
He really can't talk his way out of
No,
anything.
I mean,
Somebody
guess I
offered
haven't
him dirt and he drank
I
the
couldn't
dirt.
talk my way out of a grocery store checkout line.
What is it?
A beggar's market checkout.
A beggar's market checkout line.
oh,
You hadn't noticed?
no.
I suppose those that are cursed do not see those that are cursed.
I mean,
Yes,
he didn't say anything out of the ordinary that I remember. I mean, he was very open about being,
Yeah, that
Being
is
what?
kind of what we are getting at.
what you are.
Fair enough.
Picture that, but on a much larger scale, and to every person we have ever come across in the city.
Oh,
No,
nice.
I-
I mean,
yes.
I know it's obvious with me, but if you could keep it a secret, you should.
you're
Also,
cursed?
We're gonna do this.
apparently,
I'm visibly angry because it's been said too many times.
fair enough.
apparently, it's not just the two of you
Yeah, there's.
as well.
I mean, yeah, I watched your clothes change color.
Yeah, but I don't know. I thought it was a little. Yeah.
So,
Anything you interact with changes. Right?
What are they
I
talking
mean,
about?
if I wear it.
If you wear it.
I do not know.
This is
Yes.
very strange.
It's very strange. I do not
Then-
know why they would say these things.
None of
What
them
are
even
you-
look the same. Why are they comparing themselves to each other?
I do not know. Very
This one's
very
fucking
believe the word is-
peculiar indeed.
I believe the word
I mean,
is
this guy's
peculiar.
literally fucking green. I know you told me, but I was not sure until I saw him with my own eyes.
Yeah, so I
Did you assume he was just under the weather?
No, I definitely hear that, even though I've backed up like 5 feet at this point.
So, what happened with you in the past 3 days?
Approached by a man,
You weren't kidding about the water either.
What kind of man?
He is definitely wet.
the pawn man.
Clark.
Oh,
We met him.
you met Clark?
Oh, you know Clark?
Wonderful man.
Yes.
Did you see Sister Madeline?
Yes.
In his basement?
You did?
Is she
I
okay?
had a few questions.
Why were you in his basement? You're sure we can trust him?
You can trust Yalumlo, Felix. He is a friend. He has helped us with a great many things.
I've been helping Clark.
In his basement?
Yes.
How was Sister Madeline?
Not great.
Yes, she wasn't very great when we dropped her off.
I'm on my way to Growlers now.
Oh,
For what?
Alcohol.
Because it's the only thing that quenches her thirst, right?
Sure.
Yeah, I was also afflicted by what Madeline is afflicted by.
Oh.
Did you?
That is
I'm
Does
assuming
that have to
you
do with the
didn't-
dirt? Or?
Yeah, it has to do with
Yeah.
the
It was
dirt.
the dirt, for sure.
Felix just likes to drink. You should not bring up that in normal conversation.
Oh,
I don't drink.
one of you is lying and I don't know who.
Felix did not drink the tea.
No.
Had we known, we would have stopped you from drinking it, yes?
Right, yes.
He was gone before you drank the tea, so logic would dictate that he has not had the tea?
Right, yes. But Sister Madeline has, and the alcohol would be for her.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I understand.
I think what Ether is trying to say is shut up.
Okay.
Have you guys been to Growlers?
Yes.
Did you drink the stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Sure did.
I don't remember.
Did
I
you
don't
notice
think
the difference?
It was the only thing that quenched my thirst, yeah.
Okay, well, that's why I'm going there.
We will go with you,
Just
perhaps.
gonna like kind of stare at Yalumlo.
Why is he staring at me?
No,
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Give him the smile.
you're getting the smile.
Yeah.
The real big teeth.
Yeah, yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like he thinks I am the weird one. He's fucking crazy.
Oh my god.
Really unsettling.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, I do not know what to tell you. Perhaps we could come to Growlers with you and escort the ale to Sister Madeline.
Sure. You can carry it.
I suppose.
I can carry it.
I just shake my head and just...
We could all perhaps carry it.
I'm very strong.
I suppose there is some chance that
I just
the-
kind of like flex a little bit. There's almost nothing there. So am I.
I saved Nesgrim.
She did, yes. I was covered in blood.
Good.
Oh, I can turn into a bear now.
What?
I turn and walk towards Growlers.
Just announce it and then leave. I like it.
Yep. Lots has happened.
Yeah, you guys see.
Just bear?
Yes, like a forest bear. It's
like a white brown bear.
yes, it is the size of a brown bear but white.
Yes, like a white brown bear.
Yes.
So it's a white bear.
No,
like
no.
a brown bear.
it's a brown
like
bear that is
the
white.
type of animal, but white like the color.
Rhetoric's leaving.
Yeah, I'm walking towards Growlers.
Yep.
For
I've been
someone
told
who is a
that's where we're
strange color,
going.
you sure are having a hard time with this.
I mean, I guess it makes sense because it would be a brown bear, but then it would change color. 'Cause
Yes.
Mhm, yes,
wearing
exactly.
the fur, I guess. Sure.
You get it.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's very clear.
To Growlers then. Come
Yeah.
on.
Yes.
Um,
I'm fucking walking.
Would I have reason to think that any of the not dead Loggers Guild members might be at Growlers? Or, alternatively, would I know of any of their homes being between our current location and there that I could keep an eye out to see if any of them seem to be at home?
So you don't know who's alive. So I
Sure,
would
just
say, yeah,
in general.
In general, you know that a couple of them do live in the 3 to 4 streets from here down to Growlers. So yes, if you wanted to keep an eye out for them,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, I guess just let me know if you'd need me to make a roll on that or whatever.
Okay, so I assume, would be walking along the eastern edge of the street, hugging the wall, going down south towards Growlers.
Yep.
Okay, so we recall that it is 1, 2, 3, 3 streets down. As you are walking, Yalumlo, you may make the perception check.
16.
16? Okay, so you can see for where you recall one of the other loggers, again, in terms of your quality of friendship, not the most familial, like you're not very close with this person, but you can see the area where you know the man Willard lived. You can see that his house is still lit. It is... So 2 streets down. And it is the second home in. So I will show you on the map later where his house is.
Would I, with what I would know of him from working with him, think that he would be the kind of person that I should approach first that might get other people to get on board? Or would he be the kind of person that I might want to approach closer to last when I have other people on board?
So, for him, for what you can recall as a hardworking family man who cares very much about taking care of his family, work would be his priority, as would their safety. So, your assumptions for what he might be doing, having been given the ultimatum, would be he's either looking for other work or already acquiescing to potentially looking for other people to go out and fell wood and start.
So he might be somebody I'd think about approaching first.
Correct.
About how far away is his house from our current location?
So he would only be the second house in as you guys are walking down 40 to 50 feet.
Okay. And how many other houses do I think would be on the way between here and Growlers?
One other home.
Okay.
That would be one more street up. It would be on the street that Growlers is on.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to like stop walking.
Okay.
And into Ether's mind, I'm going to say, I think I should stop off at one of these homes here. I believe that there's a chance that I could contact one of the other members of the Loggers Guild. I can catch up with you. The only other home between here and Growlers is on the same street. It should not take me very long. I just want to check in with him.
And I respond telepathically. Okay, please be careful. I will not attract attention to what you are doing.
All right.
And continue on my way.
Yes, thank you. Be very careful. That fucking green man looks dangerous as fuck.
Felix is okay. He is a trustworthy friend.
He smiled at me real weird.
To be fair, I said some strange things to him as well. Smiling is probably okay.
Are you sure?
I am not ever sure, but
He's definitely cursed.
it is just as I suspected. He could be cursed. I'll continue on my way.
Okay. So the other 4 of you continue on southward as Yalumlo kind of quickly trails off up this street a little bit.
What were you guys doing outside that house?
If you want to go for a second.
You want to go?
Yeah.
Yalumlo knew someone inside.
Oh.
We were just stopping off and happened to run across you when we came out.
And now I notice him leave.
Leave. Mm-hmm.
Is he?
Yeah, because he says, as far as you guys know, he said nothing. He just...
Where is he going?
Is he a killer?
I mean,
Covered in head to toe.
at this point,
all black.
aren't we all
I mean,
killers?
it's quite cold out.
Yes.
He looks like he stabs people in the night.
I think he stabs trees with axes.
He does.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, that's his job.
Well,
Oh.
he cuts down trees, not stabs.
He,
That's
he
kind-
goes
that's
out
what
into the
I-
wilderness?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm just gonna look at you because you have experience with it. What? Is it safe?
Oh, no.
Oh.
Not at all. Very much the opposite, actually.
Oh.
It's very not safe.
He doesn't go alone, does he?
No, there is a group of them that go out and sell the wood back to the city.
Okay.
But no, not at all safe, especially where they go.
much more unsafe than where I generally stick to on my journeys out.
Oh, okay. Just a little weird. He just left.
He will be back.
I'm sure he had something to do.
Okay. Oh, yeah, Growlers yet?
You guys are going to make your way towards Growlers?
Yeah.
Okay. We were having this conversation while walking.
Yep. So as you guys are walking towards
I once again
Growlers...
check for my pass
Mm-hmm.
and my purse.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You
As
may roll.
Oh,
You walked off alone.
What am I rolling? Perception?
Mm-hmm.
12.
Well, yeah, you can see that both of your belongings are still there. Your pass still tightly clasped around your neck, and your purse still tightly affixed to your belt.
And then because you've checked,
And then the boy behind you!
ah, Tim Poster Jr.
so while
Father will be so proud!
while we're walking along to Growlers, I'm gonna turn to Felix and say, and the note that you left with, did you find anything more about that?
No.
Okay. Great.
Sorry.
We have we found similar things.
Things have progressed
What do you mean?
in a negative fashion. You
You
could
found
say.
more?
You could say that.
Where?
Where do we start?
Well, where they are, we can no longer go.
Where are they?
They're gone now.
They
Destroyed?
are gone. We have destroyed them. They were in a room in the basement of Growlers where a large, scary man that we saved lived.
He also saved my life as well.
Oh.
He's the
so,
reason.
So he's not scary.
He was scary.
Oh,
He's quite frightening.
quite terrifying.
Also very handsome. Very large.
Very caring.
I'm just like...
I'm just gonna
Hot
point
and
a bit-
scary.
a bit bigger than him?
Yeah.
Oh.
Bulky.
I like...
Yeah.
gotta do that.
You try to reach up, and it's like, but more.
Oh. So, there's no way for me to look at them?
I believe that we copied them down. I think Yalumlo has them.
Probably shouldn't go into basements anymore.
No. We've
I
been
will
attacked
avoid-
by a statue and
and I just kind of mouth church, so that way I'm not saying it in the presence of any people that might be walking by.
Also, by the dirt.
and the dirt.
What?
Yeah. That as well.
I don't...
It has been bad.
It's been a long 3 days.
I feel bad. I didn't know that you guys would be going through hell.
Nor did we.
I mean, I just left the orphanage. Everything was fine. We stopped the attack. First of Elseth was said to be the worst.
I honestly assume the worst for you.
I wouldn't have gone out on my own if I knew I couldn't handle myself. We knew it was safe to go out at night. After all those had been
I suppose
mischievous were hung.
you're not being chased, so...
I assumed you had been perhaps taken by the jackal and skinned. But you do have your skin, thankfully.
Roll perception. No, okay.
Oh, they're just bones!
It's a 19. Is he bones?
He has his skin and his bones.
Okay, well, I don't know.
All of them?
Yep.
I'm
As
just
far
gonna
as you
kinda-
know. Dink dink.
I'm good.
In the time helping Clark, did you learn anything?
Not much. He wanted me to look into the well poisoning and the riots.
Okay. We'll talk about that later. Maybe not here.
Okay.
Right, because we're currently standing outside of Growlers.
You guys, are finishing your walk towards
Yeah.
Growlers. So as you guys are arriving at Growlers, we're going to swap. You guys are going to bounce. Yalumlo's going to come back in. We'll do that conversation, and then when we swap back, you guys will have a brief moment in Growlers before he arrives, because his conversation will be a few moments.
Okay.
And then we will either have him stop at another home and go back to you guys, or he would join you.
Okay, sounds good.
Fuzzy Pancake, as far as what Felix was told, he knew that night, the night where people were hanged in mass by the gallows men, that night was safe in the context that people would be far too afraid to continue to commit any crimes knowing that the guards were so active. It's a demonstration night of mass slaughter, so this way people fall in line. Okay, so you walk the few streets over. Let me hop back to my map real quick. You walk, sorry, not streets. You walk the two houses in. So you know the Homestead Inn. So Willard is the house right next to the Homestead Inn. So it is, again, a small cottage. It looks like it is a thatched, pieced together roof. You can see that there is a front window inside. You can see that it is illuminated very similar to what we have here, with a couple of lanterns on the walls, a candle on a small table, and you can see the familiar figure of Willard walking around playing with his two little children. He has two daughters. Their names are Bethany and Samantha. You would know the names of the daughters just because he would have spoken about them during expeditions and things of that nature. But you can see that he is standing inside playing with his children. You do not currently see his wife.
Sure. I will pull down the mask and I will knock gently on the door.
Okay. So you give the door a soft rapping and you hear Willard just, "Hush, girls, one moment. I'm not sure who would be knocking at this time of day, but it probably is just one of the other friends. I'll be right back, girls. Go find your mother in the kitchen." You hear his voice kind of echoing. You hear the soft footsteps rapping on the creaking wooden floor, and you hear the door kind of unlatch and then pull open, very slightly ajar, and Willard's face come into view for you. So you can see he is middle-aged, mid to late 30s, which is middle-aged for what we have here in Oshuamp. He is bald. He has a very short, light brown beard, dark brown eyes, and you can see that he is wearing his usual black vest. He doesn't have a cloak or anything like that on. You can see that he's got fairly muscular shoulders, a little bit thicker than the average human, because obviously he's been felling wood for some time. But he opens the door. His face appears in the small portion of the frame. Yalumlo.
Hello, Willard.
How are you here?
I walked.
All the way back from the Fellwood?
Yes, well, I mean, it has been a couple of days.
Oh, my, I'm sorry, but what do you need?
I, came to check in to see, if you were alright, and also, I heard that the Loggers Guild was having some issues, and that the guards were not taking kindly to those issues.
And he just kind of looks around. Are the guards out there?
No
yeah,
more.
you give a quick peek. Obviously, both directions. You don't see any guards walking.
Yes. Not in the immediate vicinity, no more than the usual in the area.
And he just kind of quickly peeks over his shoulders to assure that his children are not in the room. I can spare a moment. Hurry.
Of course.
And he opens the door and beckons you inside. And you can see that, again, very, meager life. So a pair of chairs that look dilapidated, a stool, a small table. He just kind of gestures over towards the small table and the stool, pulls it out for you, and he has a seat in one of the broken down chairs that, as he fits his ass into it, you hear it like creak, and you can almost see portions of the bottom of the chair from where his legs begin to protrude out from the bottom, as though it's holding itself together, but with effort. Yes, when we returned, there were so few of us, and the guards demanded to know what happened, but none of us could quite make sense of it all.
Yes. I spoke briefly with Seamus. He said it was awful. I do not remember any of it occurring. I woke up in the snow and everybody was gone.
Yes, it felt like the most sudden of storms. It wasn't something that any of us had prepared for. We anticipated being able to be back before dinner on the last of Dumar and enjoying the last night of the Estevar and selling wood, as we always do. And
As we do.
Trying to make our ends meet. The cold was so sudden. The The chill, the winds, we heard a scream. You and Seamus were a bit ahead of some of the others, but we just saw Seamus running, and he said something moved in the trees.
That is what he told me as well.
We heard the tree fall, and with Seamus in sight and you not, we assumed that...
The worst.
Yes, we feared that
It is understandable.
it
I do
had
not
taken
blame
you. A few of us attempted to walk forward to try to look for you, but it felt as though the sun was blocked from the sky suddenly, as though night fell out of nowhere. And he just kind of like longingly looks back at the, back portion of his house where you would associate his kitchen and where his family is. I have far too much to risk, even for a friend, Yalumlo, and I am sorry for that.
I would not ask you to risk anything more dangerous than you already risked by being out in the woods. But it is my understanding that the guards are threatening to send those that are unwilling to go back out into the mines. I do not suppose that would keep your family fed?
No, see, the difficulty is that obviously we can't go to the mines for several months now. The winter is far too harsh, and they know an expedition wouldn't even make it through the Fellwood. We would never even arrive at the entrance, let alone have an opportunity to dig.
Of course.
I've decided to take up work with Mr. Arthur. I do not know yet what he'll have me do, but he says I am fit enough to assist him in some things that he needs done around the city. I'm hoping it's just, as we did with Old Loggers Hall, fixing up places and trying to make them a little bit more accommodating to people and a little bit more pleasing to the eye, so homes are more willingly purchased and people are happy to stay in the West for now. But he gave me an advance of money to collect myself for a few days and told me I would work it off once I began.
Do you believe that he can keep you safe from the guards?
I think Mr. Arthur has sufficient pull, ideally. He's been established here in the city for long enough, and the people respect him. He's probably the next one that'll be welcomed over to the east. It'll be sad to see him go.
And what do you suppose will happen then?
Oh, I don't know. I don't believe he has any apprentice or anything of the sort that would occupy his business when he leaves, or whether or not he would simply hold his stakes here in the West and, return frequently to check in on his dealings.
And how is it that you are keeping your family warm, if no one is going out into the woods for wood?
It's another debt to Mr. Arthur. You could say that some of the homes that didn't pay aren't homes anymore. And won't be. We have to make do with what we can. He has discussed, as far as I know, with some of the hired men that he has, checking the woods of Narenter. And I don't want to be one of those. As treacherous as that day was in the Fellwood, I fear those woods even more.
I understand.
Yeah, you can see that, he is visibly shaken, and he just kind of reaches over towards, a small little bag adjacent to his chair that is fixed against the wall and uncinches a small pouch. Are you, hungry, friend? I don't have much to offer, but
I will be all right.
I want to make amends in whatever way I can. I was in charge of the expedition that day.
You have nothing to make amends for. It was not your fault. These things happen, and I am fine, as you can see.
I fear for the families of the men who died.
Yes, who is it that we lost?
Several. Claude. Hold on, let me look at the actual list. Because I thought I remembered them off the top of my head,
Yep,
but...
that's fine.
Christopher. Archie. Gregory. Nick. Usually goes by Nicholas, but I'm just going to say Nick. And then Jeremy. You would remember that the majority of the people that you worked with in Loggers Hall were mostly young, able-bodied men that a lot of them didn't have families. Willard is the one who stands out as being a guy who was truly a family man, because this is not a job that would really be something that a family would want to have their primary caretaker be in, because it's so treacherous. So the majority of them are individuals that were young, able-bodied, and genuinely just didn't want to fucking be laborers anymore, because as far as they were concerned, they make more money felling wood than they do sitting in the city shoveling snow or doing other shit work for the city.
Sure.
A lot of them, I have tried to confirm that they haven't returned. I even tried for you, and Seamus said he had not seen you in days. I assumed you were amongst the other.
Yes, he had not seen me. I only saw Seamus just this morning.
How is Seamus?
He is scared, as it seems that you are as well. Even with the protection of the architect.
I'm hoping that Mr. Arthur's work is better pay than felling wood. I'm hoping that I can take care of my children.
Do you think that he will give the same deal to the rest of those that have survived?
Well, Mr. Ernest. Ernest is the guy you would know as the leader of the Loggers Guild. Ernest would probably refuse it. Too proud of a man. But I can't say for sure. I've not seen him since yesterday afternoon when we had our last meeting at Loggers Hall. Cameron, I think, is too fickle-minded and too naive still in his youth to recognize the danger that a jobless man in this city presents. I fear for what work he might find himself in. And Cole, I think, will be alright. He's a witty kid. He'll probably be able to make some kind of coin this way or another, but I fear for him finding honest work as well. And then Seamus. Poor man. I hope that he was quite angry yesterday at the meeting, more outspoken than usual.
About what?
He said that he saw what touched you and didn't know what it was, had never seen anything like it in the woods before, and he didn't think you were dead.
He did not think that I was dead?
No, he wanted us to return to find you, but Cole and Cameron said it wasn't worth their time, and I couldn't go with Seamus and leave my family.
I understand.
Mr. Ernest agreed with Seamus, but the two of them alone knew that they stood little chance scouring the Fellwood, even trying to trace their tracks back to where you had fallen. It didn't seem like a wise decision. Ernest, I believe, was looking to find some funds to hire men to look for you. But I will find him and tell him that you are well, and that he does not need to.
I do not suppose that there is any chance that anyone will consider reforming the Loggers Guild.
Ernest. But we would need at least 7 more men. Usually the party of 10 is safest in felling the trees. So this way we have ample people to keep sight on the wolves and other creatures of the wild, and we have at least the 3 men required for cutting and binding.
Of course. Perhaps Mr. Arthur would consider branching out his business.
Quite literally.
Quite literally.
I will, speak with Mr. Arthur on your behalf, then. I think that is a brilliant idea. And if it works, I'd be much happier out in the woods with people I know than with people I don't.
Of course.
I'm truly sorry, Yalumlo. None of us knew what was going to happen that day. But I am glad to see one more come back.
Perhaps I will not be the only one.
Perhaps, if you see any of the others, I would like to know.
Of course, I will let you know.
Thank you. And you can kind of hear in the back what sounds like creaking at the door, and he quickly turns and looks over his shoulders. Forgive me, the girls are still quite young and, not the most patient of children.
I understand.
They do not get much time with their father, and these last, 2 days, despite the difficulties of what has been going on, it has been pleasant to spend more time at home.
So I'm sorry to take you away from your family, even for this brief moment.
It's all right, Yalumlo.
I appreciate your time.
Of course. And he just kind of extends his hand out to you to shake your hand.
I will extend my hand. I'm gonna pass him 2 silver.
Okay. Yeah. And he just kind of like, as he shakes your hand and sees, would you put the coin on the table or would you have it palmed in your hand to get
into
to it?
his hand.
So he just shakes your hand, and you can see that like he's kind of tearing up, and he looks and sees coins in his hand. Oh.
I have come into your home when the members of the Loggers Guild may be in danger of the guard. I appreciate you giving me your time. I want to make sure that
Thank you.
you are compensated for giving me that time, for, and potentially endangering your family more than you have to.
It's all right, Yalumlo. Our years together were well spent, and quiet as you were, I always respected that about you. You're a good man, Yalumlo.
As are you.
My children will be quite thankful this night. And he just kind of slowly puts the coins into his pocket, and you hear that there's nothing else in his pocket. So you hear the single clank as your 2 coins meet in this man's empty pocket. Please be safe, friend.
You as well?
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps we will see each other again?
I hope so, sir. I hope so indeed. And he just kind of stands up out of his chair, and he walks you towards the door, and he looks out of the window adjacent to the door first. You should be clear.
Thank you.
Thank you. And he opens the door for you.
And I will go outside before I put the mask back up.
Yep. Be well, friend.
You also, Willard?
Goodbye, Yalumlo. You watch as the door closes. So you make your way down towards the street.
So the other home that I know about, does that home belong to one of the names of the people that he said is gone?
No, it belongs to the home of Cameron.
Okay.
One of the other guys that you know is alive.
Okay.
Would you want to stop at that one on the way to Growlers?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you pass by that house on the same street as Growlers, it is it is the fourth home in on the street. As you approach it, it is a very small, consider the space of what honestly a studio apartment would be. So like literally this size space. And you can see that it is dark inside as though no one is home right now. And you can see that the door is closed. It does not look, if you were to peek in, obviously with what you're capable of seeing, you would see that the home is not ransacked. You would see that there are belongings. You can see that there is a bedroll, kind of like disheveled, carelessly strewn about. You can see that there's what looks like a small straw pillow, like carelessly tucked into a corner. You can see that there are clothing strewn on the ground. It doesn't look as though the person is packing.
Sure.
It looks as though the person is a careless kid.
Yeah, it looks lived in.
Correct. So we'll swap unless you wanted to genuinely try to break in. But that's your call.
I mean, I would knock just to see if there was any response. Just
Okay.
like in consideration for like if he knew that the guards were going
looking
about,
for him and
maybe
he's
he
hiding.
would have the lights off and be trying to look like he wasn't home.
Sure. So you give a fair rap at the door, and you hear no response.
Okay. And then I would head to Growlers.
Growlers. Okay. So we'll swap. I'll have you
bring
come
you
in a
back
few
in.
minutes. Yeah, I will wave you in. I like Willard.
True heroes return.
Oh, so we
Oh
killed
wow, I'm
everything.
not Buck anymore. Amazing. I wonder how that happened.
Very, very strange.
All right.
Okay, Growlers.
Yep. So you guys make your way to the front of Growlers.
Yep.
You step inside. You open the door. You hear the small little, again, chime ring. And you can see that behind the bar, once more, the same female elf that you guys had seen when you were inside of Growlers. She turns, looks over in your direction. You can see that Growlers right now is empty. So this is that midday part where previously you guys knew a delivery was made for her, and she has kicked everyone out. So she turns and just... Yay! Yes, you guys. How can I help you?
Hello.
That's a fucking green man.
That is, yes.
He is
Already smiling.
He is a friend.
Are you fucking sure?
Probably.
I have
Mostly certain.
business here without them,
Okay. What business?
and I'll walk closer to the bar.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa, green man. Whoa.
And I'll just kind of like wipe my hand on the bar a little bit. I'm here to pick up something for Clark.
Great. And she just blinks at you.
Ale.
Okay. How much?
The amount he told me. I am saying that to the DM.
Correct, yes. Yeah, so you would have been told to get like a small, kind of like little mini keg that
Like a
we've got
little-
up
yeah,
here.
yeah.
Yes. Oh, one of the delivery kegs.
Yes.
Great. And she just kind of extends her hand. Money?
Number?
Oh, he didn't tell you how much. Oh, all good. 2 gold.
Should I? Yeah, I'll give it 2 gold.
Great. 1 minute. And she just kind of pockets the coin, and you see her disappear behind the little doorway right behind her, and she just, oh my god, Clark, you're gonna kill me! You hear her yelling that in the back room.
While she's gone, I'm going to turn to Nesgrim and to
Ether.
I have a name.
I know, I wanted to say Lunlo, but I'm like, he's not here.
Nope.
To Nesgrim and Ether and say, should we tell her he's not coming?
No. I am very concerned what she would do. We may never be allowed in here again if she assumes we had something to do with the reason he does not return.
It was his choice.
True.
I feel like it would be rude to leave her hanging, but
I agree. I do have concerns. Perhaps we should wait until Felix leaves with the ale that Madeline leaves, and then tell her.
Yes,
So that way she
That's
does not
probably-
revoke that, and
wait until the green man leaves. She doesn't seem to like him very
Should
much.
I roll perception?
I mean, yeah, I would, because, like, they're whispering, but the bar is not that large.
That is a natural 20.
Yeah, you fucking hear them.
Okay, so
Hello!
So I was laughing. Sorry. Did you guys say that Corin or anything? What were you guys? What did you guys say? 'Cause I heard
specifically
some of
said, should we tell her he's not coming?
Yeah, we didn't say a name.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
I think it might be best to tell her.
And you hear the beep, 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 beep.
perhaps she will need to make other arrangements for her healing ale.
Maybe, yes, and I think we should do so delicately. So I should not be the one to.
Oh, are you sure?
I'll be happy to if you would like.
I begin to snicker.
I feel that may not go well.
I would agree with you in this instance. The fewer words, the better, perhaps.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you want to tell her,
You
Ritora,
hear the
or
door
should
begin
I?
to open.
Okay.
Which door? To
The back door
Okay.
again, like as though she is returning. You hear her soft footsteps on the wood inside. So, yes, Clark's one little keg. And she just hands you out a keg of that side.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. What the fuck are you?
I'm sorry.
You're green? That's not?
Oh, usually people point out my ears first.
You didn't say that. Holy shit. What the fuck's going on with your ears? And you see her, like, point at her long, pointed ears. I've got these. Fuck are those? Those aren't ears.
Their ears.
Are you sure?
Could you say that again?
Ether, what the fuck is this?
This is Felix.
This is Felix, yes.
Pleasure to meet you, Felix.
And I'll extend my hand.
Not a chance.
That's a good choice.
Luna.
Green man.
Okay. So, have you guys seen my friend?
About that.
Because it's a little late.
He
He
had
Don't
a
say dead.
no,
he's not dead.
Nope,
I know he's not.
not
he's,
dead.
No, he's definitely
Wow, brows are now raised.
Well,
hopefully alive
technically,
and well. Or well.
She just kind of like smiles as you say alive, and you just see her shoulders kind of raise and lower as she chuckles.
He's not gonna be coming back.
At least not currently.
Why?
He had something to take care of in what would you call where he went?
the woods.
Is it just the woods?
That's what I would call them. That
in-
is what groupings of trees are generally referred to as.
I was aware of that. I
he
wasn't
said
sure if
cutting-
there was a name
cutting
for
lumber?
the types of
He said that he needed to leave for Marybelle.
The sake of his daughter?
And she's just like wide-eye blinking at you guys.
So am I.
Do you know?
But on another, he is green.
Yeah, he was.
Yes. Marybelle's from the orphanage.
Yes.
You're telling me that the man I was hiding in my basement, that's a fucking vampire, has a child, and he left to go to the trees for her. What the fuck are you saying to me right now?
We are simply
It's-
telling you what has happened. I do not say this lightly when I say that she is cursed,
She's cursed.
and he is going to make a deal with somebody to help her, so that way she is no longer cursed. It is not something that
What do you mean?
it is. It is bad.
It's bad.
But-
Yes, it's bad that the doctor man who helps me make my magical healing ale is now gone.
Yes, I would say so.
I'm sure, given the arrangement he had with you, he would not do that lightly. I'm sure that was a difficult decision for him to make.
I mean, I fucking hope so. But at the same time, how are you feeling?
Better now? Well, sort of worse, but better.
He almost died again.
What do you mean almost died again?
He's really good at that.
Who are you?
We've met.
I know, but who are you that you almost died again?
He's very clumsy.
I'm very bad at this.
Life is what he is.
God.
What he means.
Okay.
Where does he get the herbs from? Do you
The herbs?
for your ale? Do you know where he record and retrieves
Yeah,
them
they're
from?
herbs. No,
No.
I don't know.
Oh, we probably should have gotten
I'm
that.
gonna insight check that.
Do I know what a vampire is?
You've read about them, yes.
Okay,
You've read
good.
about undead creatures.
That is a natural one.
A natural one?
So-
Yeah. So, I mean,
I get nothing.
yeah. You just read heads on for what she's doing. They're herbs, they're magic, and I don't know where he gets them. They're just brought to me by him. And yeah, that's about it for that.
Do you know what they? Can you show us what they look like?
Nope.
Okay.
I don't really know you. Why would I show you my special magic healing herbs?
If
Well-
we would like to help, I imagine is.
I'm sure you would.
I don't think she wants our help.
I mean, it's not
Also,
that
she's really rude.
I'm not opposed to help, but I don't know you guys very well. And you're literally walking into my tavern for the second time and telling me to show you my magical special secret spices,
I have not asked
herbs.
at all.
There's 11 of them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see your herbs.
Great. I'm not going to show you them anyway.
Good.
So aside from that, is there anything we can do to help?
Like with what? Just anything? You want to
Things.
dust that table? You want to sweep the floors?
And I'll walk over and start dusting the table.
I begin actually belching, laughing that he's actually.
I
clean
just
the
like
table.
hand in hand, rub my eyes.
and that's
What are you rubbing the table with? Because there's nothing on it. Are you just using your hand?
Your chainmail just
I'm gonna-
scraping up the
I'm
table.
gonna take my sleeve over my hand, Liam.
You just start really
To me,
shining it.
Has he seen a Diabolist? Diabolist?
Diabolist.
Diabolist. I can't say it right.
It's okay.
Has he about the injury?
Yes. It is uncurable.
Because if he's
So
it gets
I'm not paying him for that. He's doing that on his own.
Oh no, of course.
Understandable.
Great.
It
As
is out
long
of
as everyone knows I'm not paying.
It is out of the kindness of his very large heart.
Sure. Heart. I saw the way you looked at, Nivora. Sir.
You're laughing.
Sorry, Luna. Did that make you jealous?
I mean, she's a very beautiful lady.
I'm not buffing her table right now, am I?
Wait, that was smooth.
Luna, I'm so sorry.
As he's leaning over the table, bumping
I'm just going to grab Nesgrim and leave. I'm so sorry.
Oh my!
I just like raise my eyebrow and laugh.
Oh Jesus! Oh, fuck.
My. No, I guess you're not buffing Nivara's table right now. Thank you for that. I'm sure when she comes back in, I'll be able to see her shine all the better.
Why would she shine?
No reason. She's the jeweler, you fucking idiot. Yes. She's covered in jewels.
Yes, of course. Yes. We had you talk to her. You know what her shop is. She gave you a card of some sort.
Yes, I remember. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, you met a jeweler.
Yes, her name is Nivara.
I gathered that.
It's a cool name.
It's a fucking name.
Yeah, Luna's not, I guess. Great, thank
No,
you.
Luna's also a great name.
Yeah, Little Lady. Little Lady.
Are you named after the actual moon, or?
Is there a not actual moon?
I wasn't sure if there was another person that maybe you were named after, named Luna.
I'm gonna back away a little bit.
Yeah, my parents named me after the random lady who walked by one day, and they were like, Luna, cool, we'll name our kid Luna.
I see what Yalunla was talking about.
It is very
As you can
apparent.
see, he's trustworthy.
No, not many people in Fayorn were named Luna. Okay?
It's a very pretty name.
Thank you.
You're also from Fayorn.
Yeah?
The chair creak there was too perfect.
Yeah. Grew up in the woods. Pretty city. Not like this.
Not like this.
Nope. She's just looking at you.
Let us know if there's anything we can do to help.
Or don't.
We should probably be on our way.
I would like to help if at all possible, please.
How many people does she have to tell no?
If you do need anything, we will not bother you anymore with this right now. Please feel free to send a letter or word to Elisa at the Quiet Night. It is where I am staying. If you do need anything, please feel free to send word.
Okay, if you want to do a thing for me, you can get the... Nope, you can go over to the bakery.
Okay?
Okay.
I need a couple things from the bakery.
Oh,
okay.
great.
We can do that.
You can go to a bakery?
Sure.
I fucking hope so, you have legs.
What do you need from the bakery?
They'll know when you say I sent you. It's the usual. I have to get ready for dinner.
Okay.
All right.
Is there any sort of payment we should know about? Or are you going
No,
to clock us?
I don't pay the baker.
Okay.
The baker pays me.
Oh, okay. Which bakery?
And she just kind of points at the wall.
Okay.
Couple buildings that way. Can't miss it.
Okay, we will...
It's got a big sign. It says bakery.
Okay, we will be right back.
Charming.
Why is she so mean?
I don't know, but I love it.
I have to accurately play Luna.
I think she's warming up to me.
No.
I don't
You
think.
have read this situation very wrong. Come on,
Yes.
Nesgrim, it is okay.
I'm gonna link arms with Nesgrim and
Elf lady.
yes,
From the woods?
yes,
How is it?
it's been better.
Fair. Thank you.
We'll go get the usual.
Lawrence, you may come back in as we are leaving Growlers.
We'd summoned him. It has worked. I waved my arms, and he is here.
So have we left Growlers?
Yeah, as you leave Growlers, you see Yalumlo walking up.
She's mean. I like her.
Is that your thing?
No.
Okay. I wasn't sure. Everyone has something. Nesgrim likes... I don't know.
Apparently the jeweler.
The jeweler?
Yes, Navarre is quite nice. Luna is as well. I like her a lot.
Just like verbally.
I just pat him on the head. It is okay, Nesgrim.
It's his thing.
Oh boy. And I carry around bones. Yalumlo, how was
So do
your thing?
It was fine. How about you?
About as good as expected, given our last interaction with her.
You mean Luna?
Yes, she was
She is abrasive.
Yes.
a bit more so when we mentioned that Corin would not be returning.
Why the fuck would you tell her that?
So she wasn't expecting him.
She also did bring it up, and she was a little loose-lipped with the fact that he is a fucking vampire.
Well, that's good to know.
She did say, I don't trust you. You can't see my herbs, but there's a vampire doctor living in my basement. So, she knew
She knew that we were asking after him.
Yes.
Yes, but that could have been anyone. That does concern me a bit, at which the ease in which she brought forth that
I mean,
information.
to be fair, there's not a fucking vampire living in her basement anymore.
That's true.
That
Or a
is
doctor.
also fair.
But the Corin
Yes.
is the basement-dwelling vampire man that's now gone?
Yes.
I needed to talk to him.
He's very
Oh,
tall.
well, that is
well,
not...
it's too late for that.
Yeah,
You could go out into
He's-
the woods, perhaps.
Pretty scary and very handsome.
he is very much gone.
Hard to miss, right? Are you doing...
Tall man, white
That's-
cloak.
That's
So
about
white,
right.
white cloak. The white
Thick.
cloak.
Why are you pointing? You are. Never mind.
What?
White cloak.
Do you know when
No,
he'll
it
be
was-
back?
He said white. He said
Possibly never.
hopefully
Possibly
8 days from now. Is that
Possibly several days, yes. It is hard to say.
We did spend some time with him, though, so maybe what you needed from him, we can...
Oh, excellent.
He's very nice.
What do you know about the well poisoning and the riots?
Are we...
Some things. Perhaps we should talk about that elsewhere.
Yes, in
Yes.
my in
Oh, you
perhaps
mean we
Private.
just said his name and that he was a vampire in public living in the tent.
Oh, that's fine.
perhaps in my bone tent after we go back. We have to go.
My bone tent.
Take these people back to my bone tent.
Welcome to the Bone Zone.
We have to pick up something from the bakery for Luna, and then we can perhaps proceed to my place of business.
You just
And-
agree to everything that people ask you to do.
Felix, maybe you should
It is
stay
the least we
outside
could
at the
do.
bakery.
No, I think I'll personally deliver Luna's goods.
Oh boy!
Did something happen?
She was very upset that he was green and his ears are
I
fucked
mean,
up.
to be fair, it is kind of fucking weird.
Yes,
No
so
offense. But it's fucking weird.
The city sucks, and I'll start walking towards the bakery.
Yeah, so the bakery is literally like 2 buildings over to the
Yeah,
right.
just carrying my little keg.
Yep, so you can see that it is a tall U-shaped like set of stands where it's a sharp front, it goes backwards, and you can see that there are, similar to the carnival tents that you used for Hearth, you can see that there are the pitch like red and white like cloth tent coverings over it.
what I
You can
like
see
to
that
hear.
there are many like small little baskets worth of things, and at the back of it you can see that there is a standing wood furnace with nothing else around it, as though like it's just you stand and then a fucking furnace, and you can see that there's seemingly no one at this bakery right now, but you can see smoke billowing out of the furnace itself.
I'll just kind of poke my head in. Hello?
And you just hear, as you get up to the counter and you say hello, you hear a small squeaky voice. Hey!
I like peer over the counter.
Yep. So you see
hi?
you see a small halfling that looks like they are only about 2.5-ish feet tall. very thin and frail.
Hold on, we're lagging apparently.
Oh yeah.
They might be
Oh,
able to
yeah.
still hear us.
Even the voice to text thing took. Well, now it's caught up.
It's
but-
lagging on my.
Is it?
Yeah.
Let me go check real quick.
Okay.
Usually the text still works, but
The actual stream doesn't.
yeah. Just the video.
Mm.
Like people can still hear us.
Yeah, I mean, if it's just the video is gone, we'll just go through.
Yeah. Because really, you don't need video for D&D.
Yeah. Especially at the point where we are right now.
So sponsors plugs.
Mm-hmm.
Dice Envy.
Dice Envy.
Cantrip candles.
Cantrip Candles. Found Familiar Coffee.
Oh yes, yes.
They
that
just
as well.
changed their packaging. I
Yes, they
believe
did.
they're also going with some eco-friendly
Packaging. right?
packaging
Yeah.
for shipments.
Awesome.
They're discarding the bubble wrap and going for paper
Good.
wrapping
Yeah, for the inside, for
instead,
recyclables.
which is very exciting
Mm-hmm.
for me. I care very much about the environment, not just as
Yeah.
a character, but IRL.
We're good. We're back now.
Cool.
Sick.
Yeah, so small, 2.5 foot tall halfling man. Very thin, not remotely muscular, very frail. Big green eyes, black hair swept to one side, a long white sleeved cotton looking shirt, a dark brown vest over it, black pants, black boots, and then a small, like this sized black and red coat. So like black on the outside,
Okay.
red on the inside. And over their neck, coming over, is a long pendant, like a chain with a yellow pendant at the end of it. And you can just see this small little figure looking up at you. Oh, hi!
Hi?
We're here to pick
What do you
up
want?
an order for Luna.
An order for Luna.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'll get it ready. Just wait.
What is your name?
What?
What is your name? What do they call you?
Call me
Yes.
Baker.
Is that your name?
No. I am a baker. They call me a baker.
Okay, what is your name?
Leo. Leo the baker.
Okay.
Luna wants her bread for the dinners. Dinner
yes.
bread.
Yes,
Dinner bread.
Yes. Yes, correct.
Probably.
Okay. And you watch as this small little halfling hurries over to this adorable little furnace and just off to the side reaches around it, and you see these big black gloves slide all the way down, like completely ridiculously oversized 2 shoulders, and just like looks right into the fire and reaches in and pulls out this tray, like this metal pan. And as it pulls out, you can see that on the top of it, like bathing through the flames, are like 12 loaves of long French-style bread, like baguettes. Piles them all up. You see steam pouring out from them, like parting his face as he turns around and joyously rushes back over, dropping the pan on the floor like melting snow beneath it. Just, Luna's bread. Take it.
I'll take it,
Okay.
and I'll attempt to lift it.
Yeah, so I mean, as you reach over the little
Not
stand.
with my hands.
Okay, so yes, you elevate the bread from Leo's hands, and Leo just looks. What? The bread's flying! Flying bread!
I have it.
I've made magic bread before, but never flying bread! Oh!
I'll just bring it closer to me. I've got it.
Okay!
Are you doing that shit?
Yes.
Please don't drop it!
Okay.
She'll be so mad!
Do I have all of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're very
They're
frail.
tiny.
Yeah, they're small loaves.
They're bunched together.
Correct.
We will be very careful with it. Thank you,
Okay.
Leo. Thank you very much. We will come back sometime and order some bread for ourselves, perhaps? Yes?
Yeah, please. You gotta let me know in the morning, though.
Okay.
I do all my baking in the morning, and then I can't bake anymore.
Okay, we will give you
Why is
a
that?
day's notice. Bread takes time to cook.
Uh-huh.
That's the only reason.
No. Bye.
Okay.
Thank you. And I'll...
You're Oh, God. Okay. Green Man. Green Man! And you just watch as the little figure rushes back and just like picks up the pan, throws it into the oven, and is just like black gloved against its head. Just, Green Man! Green Man!
Oh no!
Oh, man.
So you guys are standing here as Felix is levitating this bread in the air in
I'll
front of
start
you.
walking towards Growlix.
I've not seen Felix do anything like this, right?
Nope.
I think perhaps.
Is that a magic hand of some kind? What the fuck is happening?
It's fucking cursed.
I'm holding it.
Maybe
With
Maybe he is
what?
cursed.
Do you have an invisible hand
It
that I am
definitely
not
is.
aware of? What in the fuck?
Sure.
maybe we shouldn't walk down the street with floating bread.
Well, do you want
I-
to drop?
I
The
could
bread?
stand
I'll
under
carry
it.
it.
I could stand under it and pretend to be holding it above my head.
Sure.
We will make it look good, yes?
Sure.
Okay, I'm holding the bread. Here we go.
Roll for performance.
Should I give him advantage?
Yeah,
'Cause I'm
you're
trying to-
helping. That's fine.
Okay. Okay, 13.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really anybody paying attention to you, despite you guys being a very weird party of 5 people right now.
I'm holding.
I am holding baguette.
I am holding this bread. Here
Yep.
I go.
Please
Back
stop.
to the... What? I am letting people know that
No,
I am
don't-
holding the
you're drawing
fucking...
attention, John.
No, I know, I am holding the bread.
Okay.
Here we
We're
go.
gonna walk briskly back to
Nothing
Growlers.
cursed to see here.
Nothing strange.
Nothing cursed at all about this bread.
The bread is not flying.
Totally not cursed bread.
Bread is not flying. You can see my hands are contacting it at all times.
It's not flying at all.
100%. It's not that
100%
dangerous.
non-flying
Don't know why you're
bread.
so
No.
scared.
Okay,
Not
so
at
we
all.
walk the 2 buildings back, and we are right once more at the front of Growler's Tavern. Step
Opening the
inside.
door. Yep.
Yep. So we open the door and we walk inside. You can see that Luna, it's still stark empty in here. There is no one inside. She is just kind of hurriedly walking back and forth. Who the fuck carries stuff like that? Oh my god.
And I'll
Okay.
just move it towards
I-
her.
I did not want people to see the flying bread.
Why? What did Leo do to the bread this time that it's flying?
That one is not Leo. That is
Oh, why?
Green Man.
Why?
Why?
not
Just
I am not-
quietly finish.
I am not going to take the blame for your
Man.
flying bread.
You
I
were
have
holding
not,
it.
I've done nothing to the
Oh,
bread.
what are you doing to the bread?
All right. You make bread fly.
What do you want it?
I don't know if I want it now, because it's flying. Did you do something to it?
I'm holding it.
Holding
You're
it?
definitely not holding it.
Well, I'm holding the keg and the bread.
Well, how are you holding the
You're
bread?
clearly not holding the bread. Your hands are on the keg.
Can you put the bread down?
I run back
where
under
would
the
Luna
bread.
like it?
Okay, I'm holding the bread. Yes, here we go. Let's just okay, and I just stop. Come on, here we go.
At least he hasn't touched it with his hands.
Correct.
His hands are wet. They would.
Oh, don't ruin my fucking bread.
That's
It's not-
that's
you're
why
not
it's
holding
floating.
Oh, oh my
It is-
god.
It is.
That's why it's floating. Yeah. It's floating so it doesn't get wet. Got it. Of course.
The last thing it touched was Ether's hands.
Okay,
Yes.
just put my bread on the counter.
Okay.
I'll just lay it out on the counter.
Into Felix's mind, I'm gonna say, perhaps Ether's hands is not the best thing for the bread to be touching. He is
Get out of my
Literally-
head. Get out of my head.
literally
Get
a
out of my
fucking bone
head.
man.
Get out of my head.
Is there a problem?
Yes.
What is the problem?
Stop. Are you still in my mind? I'm saying this out loud. Get out. Stop. No.
You're fucking green.
Into your mind, I'm gonna say fuck you.
Why do you have the same character dynamic?
Right.
He started it.
It's our real life dynamic.
It's gonna be the same in the next one too.
It's weird how that sort of thing works.
It's the same as when we played Magic.
Okay. So Corin's gone.
Mm-hmm.
No more herbs and spices.
For now.
For now, you said he went to the woods
Yes.
for his daughter Marybelle.
Yes.
And he's making a bargain
Yes.
with the thing.
Yes.
Yes.
What's he bargaining for?
To uncurse her.
And who cursed her? Because the
That's-
several years I've known him, he didn't have a daughter.
He did not know that she was alive. He assumed that she was dead. But she had been at the orphanage.
Okay. And now she's not dead and not at the orphanage.
Yes, now she's
Right.
cursed.
And
Well,
now she's cursed.
She's been cursed.
Oh, she's been cursed.
the whole time.
The whole time.
She's always been cursed.
She's always been cursed.
And hopefully she will not always be cursed. That is why he is doing what he is doing, so that way she is not always cursed.
So who is he bargaining with to make this not cursed thing happen to his daughter?
We're
So-
not.
Out of character, I know that we all know that it's hags.
Right.
Our
We're-
characters are not aware of that, correct?
We don't specifically
Yeah,
We
know.
we
don't
don't
specifically know it's called a hag.
Yeah. Okay.
Did Corin say that in front of us, though? I think he did.
I think.
I think he directly said, I'm going into the woods
To bargain with the hag.
That's
with
true,
the
you're
hag."
right, you're right.
Because, again, from what the descriptions you guys gave to him, he knows
knew,
of
yeah.
what they are. Didn't know Desiel was one. So,
Right.
yes, you would
Right.
finally
I think
know
he
Okay.
at this
expressly
point, yes.
used the word hag.
Correct.
Okay.
Do I know what a hag is?
I
We're
will
about to
have
find
you.
out.
I will have you roll for history. You do know of hags, and I will tell you what quality of information as a researcher you would have encountered in your studies back in your home city for what hags are.
17 with bonus.
17 with bonus. So you are aware that hags are mysterious creatures that live in small groupings, typically sets of 3, and that they are old, powerful creatures, and that they exist in different kind of environments, and they serve their own purposes for what they want to do. You would also know that they delight in misery and pain.
So he is making a deal with a hag, which is why she
Some
is
kind of-
is cursed in
Uh-huh.
the first place.
I think it's some kind of witch.
I will explain to them
Yeah.
what I know.
Yeah. Don't fuck with those things.
Don't want to.
Yeah.
Yes, we're all too aware, unfortunately.
I am worried about Corin, but
So am I. Hags are bad.
Mm-hmm.
Hags are real bad.
He has dealt with them before. I believe that he will be okay and will be able to help his daughter, and I assume make his way back here, perhaps. So that's why he may help you once more.
If he's gonna go make a deal with the hag, I don't think he's coming back.
what?
But isn't he?
Isn't he real big? Yeah. And she's just like rubbing her face. You guys killed him.
We
Definitely
did not kill him.
Oh yeah, no, he was already dead. So yeah, I mean, he's probably gone.
What?
So you hags bad.
Yes,
I mean, we
I've seen this
understand that
before.
they're bad.
we are not responsible for this. He chose to do this so that way he could save his daughter.
Uh-huh.
Would you have preferred that she became a hag herself and killed children?
No, we have kids in the room right over there. That would have been bad.
Right.
Yes, so I would say that while this is not a great outcome, it is the better alternative to that.
Uh-huh. I'm gonna need to get some people together. Gonna have to go get him, 'cause can't lose my ale.
Perhaps there's something in his notes about the herbs that you need.
And spices.
Maybe.
I might have the notes.
Might have his notes.
Yes?
That would possibly be cool to see his notes. Especially if they talk about my herbs.
Perhaps
Don't
we
read
could
anything
go
out
over
loud.
them together?
Yeah. Together. That sounds very nice. Okay. and she just kind of pulls a stool over towards the countertop behind, and she just taps her hands on the counter in front of her. So,
Sit up at
I'll
the...
stay closed for a while.
Okay.
How's that sound?
You'd like to go through them now?
I would. We're running dangerously low on that ale, and there are some people who really need it.
Of course.
And I can't, abandon them.
That is why we were offering to help.
Sure, and I didn't know that we had my magical doctor friend's notes before. That would have been good to know.
Well,
I cannot
he was not
guarantee
here.
that the information you are looking for is in these notes, but if it is, then I'm sure we will find out.
And we'll make something work.
Of course.
Pull up seats, friends.
I will sit closest
Mm-hmm.
to Luna.
Mm-hmm.
I will sit next to Felix.
So as Yalumlo is pulling these notes out, Luna looks over at Ritora. So, are you like the weird one in the woods with the weird family? Is that you?
You're so fucking great.
I mean, it was just me and my parents.
Yeah, that's you.
What?
What? Nothing. It's fine. Weird people, weird shop.
What?
What?
I didn't think it was that weird.
Yeah, you grow up in it, you don't think it's weird.
What kind of shop was it?
I mean, I never really knew exactly
What they sold.
what they sold.
Oh, I audibly like sigh, like, oh.
That's the face that I've missed from Paul. Just, oh.
What do you
Is
mean?
it worse than what he
Wait,
sells?
what do you mean? If I sell bones to people in this city and you are not aware of what your parents sold, did they sell people? What?
What? No, magical items of.
So you do know.
I don't know
Were
the
they-
specifics.
were they-
They're.
Did they not tell you? Did they forbid you from going into like a tower of some kind? What is the?
They were
Did they keep you in a tower?
Yes.
just incredibly paranoid. They
Oh,
were
yes.
very.
That okay. I see that.
Did they
That
make
makes
the
sense.
magic items?
Yes.
With
God.
what?
We're. I cast Druidcraft and like make like.
Ooh, and I make the rolls float.
It's,
Wait, you're making the bread float again?
I understand that.
good.
But what did they use?
I don't know. I
Did
mean, they're.
Did they use the fucking vines?
No, they didn't use the.
How do you know? You don't even know what they
I don't-
sold or made.
They ignored the vines. They
So-
didn't believe
the rolls
they
down.
were there.
Okay. Were there flowers that grew from the vines and they used those, perhaps? I would say that is probably as bad.
You need a material.
I mean, the forest has plenty of material.
Plenty of
Have you never?
flowers.
Have you ever been in a
Trees?
forest? There's.
No.
That's... I just thought maybe because you were green. Trees are green.
I lived
That's
near one. I
Perhaps you would have been
didn't,
more familiar
didn't
with...
really go in too far, just a little bit.
It's fine.
Also, there wasn't the people living in
It's
it.
just like a word association thing. I heard Nesgrim do it once. I guess it didn't really work out then either.
I don't know what you're getting at.
Ah, yes.
Yes, of course.
I don't know what you're getting at.
That's nothing. Don't worry about it.
Okay, anyway. So you don't know what
I mean,
they
the
use.
Avith Woods are full of old, ancient magic.
Uh-huh.
That's
So
Do you not see there might be a problem?
no, I don't.
Do you know...
You may roll for history, Paul, for what you have studied
because
of
I
the
know
Avith
you've
Woods.
told me some things about. Nah. I don't know.
Sorry,
it's
Sarah.
It's a 10.
10. So yes, you're aware that for the Avith Woods and the legendary reclusive city of Feorn inside, you speak Elvish, correct? So you are aware. Would you share this information with your party so this way I don't write it down and give to you, or would you?
Depends.
Depends.
Probably. Especially since
Well,
Victoria
I
is
guess
from there.
theoretically, Ether and you guys also speak Elvish. So Sarah, you have been told previously, but you know that that Avith means the end of joy, and that Feorn means transformed.
Did I know?
Yeah.
Was this in my notes? I don't remember
Uh-huh.
this.
That is something you might have wanted to mention.
I thought
as
everybody
for
knew
the,
that.
Fuck.
Holy fuck!
The tape. The
As
tape.
for the,
Precious tape.
It is cursed.
as for the role, magical energy that Ritor was mentioning, would that?
For ancient magic.
Yeah.
So for what you have studied, you would know that the trees that exist particularly in the Avith Woods and the things in the Avith Woods, you know that it is a reclusive area filled with magical creatures. I talked to you about it.
Did you?
Uh-huh.
You can't trust me to remember things,
That's
so we just
fine.
have a
Yeah, because
conversation.
I went over all the names
Okay.
that would be in native languages of what your characters would have known to tell you the meaning of the name.
So
I
yeah.
couldn't even remember the actual name of my.
It's okay.
So I would share that with everyone.
I'll have to look at it after.
But just raw magical energy in that area wouldn't be enough.
Mm-hmm.
You'd need to exchange essentially.
Are your parents responsible for the vines with what they did, perhaps? They took a lot of magic. Maybe it now requires a lot of life. It did try to eat your legs.
Yes, and it did not try to eat any of us. It did only target you.
What?
Your
What?
parents cursed?
Wait, vines?
Are you cursed?
Oh yeah, there were some vines
Where?
Widow's Wail?
In the
in
basement?
the earth.
You're not very forthcoming.
I don't know what you're talking about. Literally fucking
You
green.
you are covered in head to toe in black.
Into his head. You're fucking green.
Your head, fuck you.
Yes, Corin called them Widow's Wail, is what he called the vines.
Can I take a look at them?
You would
Not
have
our
pulled
basement.
You would have to ask Luna.
And I'll look at Luna.
You were saying?
I mean, I'll pull out the jar of dirt and hand it to. Don't open it.
The first thing.
Yeah, so it is a small vial, like
Yeah, I mean, I'll look at it.
smaller
And then,
than this, and inside are wriggling maggots and like worms.
Don't open
do they
it.
look normal?
Yeah, they appear
Okay.
normal. Do you open it?
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah, you open it.
Yeah, look inside.
don't eat it.
Kind of smell.
Yeah,
Definitely don't eat it.
you get a foul, putrid odor.
Putrid odor? Okay.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's. Why,
Take
why
back.
do you have that?
Like death. It's
Is that the earth?
Yeah, that's the one that Nazgrim ate.
Why the fuck are you guys carrying that around?
It healed him at one point.
But didn't it also not?
yes.
What the fuck?
It's very strange.
It's a safety measure.
A safety measure. Like my bell on the door?
Kind of like that, yes.
Okay. Do you know what that shit is?
I sure don't.
And that's why you're not carrying it.
That's right. Yes. The last time I
We
saw
don't
that,
let him carry anything, I promise.
the last time I saw that dirt, it was falling into my teacup.
That's
you
not
fucking
true.
drank it.
Not by choice, of course.
That's
You
not-
drank it.
You.
Yes.
You drank it.
Someone forced you to drink it?
That's.
Kind of. I was drugged.
It would have been
He did it
rude if he did
willingly.
not drink
Yeah,
it.
he chose to do it.
Okay.
Oh, a lady gave it to him.
So
Sister Desiel gave it to me.
you're looking for a difference. What did you do when it healed you?
What did I do when it healed me?
Yeah.
He took a nap.
He slept in it.
You slept in the dirt.
Corin told him to.
Mm-hmm.
Should I not
Oh,
have?
inside versus outside.
Corin's a smart man.
Yes, I like
Then-
Corin.
Study. So do I. Been studying that stuff for a few years with me. Don't eat it again. Don't drink it, anyone.
I knew not
don't
to
want
drink
to.
it from the beginning.
And the blooming white
Flowers.
flowers. Yes. A moment, and you watch as she steps out of her stool, pushes back against the countertop, and goes into her back little area again, and comes back. And you can see that she has a small vial of one of the white buds. So this is what you're talking about that grows on the vines?
Yes.
Yes.
From our home. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And in the basement.
Uh-huh. And Corin told you all what about it?
That it was called Widow's Wail.
Okay.
Don't eat it.
Don't look at
Smell.
So as you smell it, it smells like ambrosia.
Oh no. The knights, the monks, they smelled like ambrosia.
It smells sweet.
What? I'm gonna grab it and...
What? Careful.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna bottle it and hand it back to Luna.
What's wrong, Nesgrim?
Just those flowers. I have not seen them since the basement.
I'm gonna insight check that. Since you visibly made a face when you saw it. It's a 19 bonus.
19. Oh, it's a 17.
Yeah, so I mean, you can see that Nesgrim looks
Last one?
visibly shaken, as though like it could be construed as like he's upset. This is a very stressful situation for him, and it might not be something where necessarily he is not telling you the truth, or as though he is just riddled with anxiety, I would say.
You didn't eat it, did you?
What, the flower?
Yeah.
No,
For the love of God,
I did not. I did
don't
not.
ever eat the flower.
So you were working with Corin on studying Widow's Wail.
Correct.
What, if you don't mind, did you find that you'd be willing to share?
So she shakes the vial with the small thing inside of it. And you can watch as these like small little tufts, again, similar to like cotton, fall off of it. Very minimal. Fermented. Can work as a fantastic medicinal herb. And she just uncorks it and pulls the entire bud out. However, in its entirety, and she holds it precariously close to her mouth and extends her tongue lightly towards it and then pulls it away. In an entirety, and bless you.
Bless you.
And that is why Feorn is so named. And she puts it back inside and seals it. And places it back on the counter. The transformations that this, plant brings with it, as far as I have been able to discern with Corin's help, are different in each growing location. Makes it hard to track who's eaten it.
Would you say that the smell is something that is recognizable?
Oh yes, that deliciously sweet aroma. That is consistent across the growths.
It is possible that it has made its way to the inner sanctum.
What makes you say that?
Ether. Perhaps a different time.
Just a A hunch.
A hunch, as a grouping of people, and she visibly rolls up her sleeves, as a group of people that don't really seem to function off of hunches, I would appreciate a bit more candor.
The people that attacked Corin?
People attacked Corin.
Yes. Before he left with Maribel?
Interesting. Is that what the paper was about?
Luna,
Yes.
perhaps this is a secret that we can hold for now. I understand that you do not necessarily trust us.
I would say I trust you a bit more moment by moment. But,
Perhaps we can go through these notes,
indeed.
come to some sort of understanding, and then perhaps,
We'll discuss more after.
yes.
Very good. If you want to read the notes.
Can we read all the notes?
I mean,
There's so many notes, John.
there's a lot of notes.
So
but,
many notes, John.
There's a lot of things for people in there.
Too many notes. Too many notes.
Perhaps
Please.
we could share the notes?
I mean, I can read them out
Or if you want to
loud.
read them all out loud.
You want me to read them all out loud?
Uh-huh.
All right.
So these are Corin's notes. I mean, if Sarah, since she loves Corin, wants to read Corin's notes.
I do love Corin, but I don't think Yelumla would willingly just hand me Corin's notes.
No, notes are in my hands.
Mm-hmm. Go right ahead, sir.
I do not know what has happened to me. I awoke on the floor of the mausoleum. I swear I saw Carolyn and Isabel together, standing over me. Porcelain skin, stark contrast to the glooming night sky, as though they blot out the stars and the moon. Another passerby looked at me in horror. I can hear their whispers like cackles ringing in my ears. The light itself feels unwelcoming and brings a stinging sensation to my flesh. I had not realized at first, but my flesh began to crack, as though comprised of stone. I cannot see myself. I wish this madness would end. The food stores in the house cannot satiate my hunger. 8053. I find myself weak, exhausted, an overpowering malaise that suffocates any will move to. I miss Carolyn. The thought of Maribel creeps into my mind, yet no amount of ale can quell the rising anger, the anguish. I wish to sleep. Monster? I am a monster, nameless, no longer the good man my ego professed I was. I am a monster. I don't know who she was, or why she brandished a charm in my presence, but it felt as though hot iron boiled within my veins, shrieking to burst through my flesh, if it can even be called so any longer. There is no one who can help me. The months I have passed occupying these vacant homes have swirled into a chaotic void. I have a name. I had a name. Bandits claimed I looked too ill to live much longer and wouldn't need my clothes. They were wrong. I needed theirs.
I love that one.
I love him so much.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
8054. I'm running out of homes to claim. Somehow the city becomes livelier. The temptation of riches must be spreading. If only the outsiders knew the horror within these walls, within mine. The rot. I remember the rot. Carolyn. They never showed me her body. I cannot enter the inner sanctum. I attempted to scale the walls, but the guards placed in the high towers spotted even me. White robes, silent as the first of Elsith's snow. I've struck a deal with the Growler's woman. She remembered my name, Corin. It sounds so foreign to me now, as though my own numbed hand caresses my cheek. It is mine, but I do not recognize it. She tells me that those infected with the rot were quarantined or died. Supposedly I, or Corin, saved a few. Could Carolyn have been one? 8055. An old plant that grew in a forest south of here. medicinal properties, a hope to pursue, white buds like cotton. Old storage cellar, had been used before to hide a friend with a criminal record. Suspicious, but ideal. Herbs for a home. Sounds fair.
It does.
8056. Deep in the fellwood, on the edge of the marshes as the growth changes, amidst the muck, I found something. Twisted, gnarled branches, shaped into primitive figures, bipedal, a white hand painted onto the flat face. Covering. She said different people call it different names. Widow's Wail. Back home it was known as Nimnar. Even heard a few drunkards call it White Bone. Says it grows from a bush.
You would know that Nimnar in Elvish, for the two of you that speak it, means white bone.
3.
Yeah, correct.
4.
Correct.
5, are we counting?
Do you know?
No.
Elvish? No.
Okay.
4. I walked by the orphanage after the sunset. I cannot go out easily during the day any longer. I wanted to see if I could remember Carolyn better. I knelt by a strange window on the west wall, my gaze affixed to the blazing hair of a woman. A whisper in the belting snow. Some strange force pulls me back to that window. At the base beneath the lining, a strange marking, a language I cannot read. I cannot tell if it is a word or a phrase. The etchings feel warm to my touch. Strange. Nothing else ever does. A mysterious woman in a crimson dress knelt before the window last night as I approached. Full moon. She didn't hear me. I watched as she pressed her palm against the glass and stepped through it as though there was nothing there. I tried. I felt the chill against my palm. Why the orphanage? What secret lies there? I cannot enter. The children must not see me. I cannot strike fear into the hearts of such sweet, innocent lives already so troubled. She recommended I hire men to sneak in. I have to find a good day to do so. 8057. The 1st of Elsith. The guards are occupied. The gallows are full. How fitting. They could not find the woman. Their descriptions brought back memories of the interior. Offered to let me inside. Said the children were all sleeping. I dare not disturb them. Again I saw her. Not by the window, but in passing in the streets at night. It looked as though she followed a young woman. Empty alley. Trail of blood. I followed the scent, but it ended at a burnt home in the southwest corner. Smelled nothing. Blood tasted fresh. I stalked the burnt home. Another girl, pale as snow, at her bare feet. Beautiful, danced in the moonlight, frolicking in the snow. She met the woman in crimson. I trailed them to the mausoleum. Are these meetings? I can hear sets of voices inside. Distinct, all female. Their words seem to bleed together. Indecipherable. In the fervor, laughter, or song? 8058. They have names. They have hiding places. I followed a pair through an alley. They must have heard my boots in the mud. Mangled corpse, young, female, only about 16. Nothing stolen, simply ravaged as though worthless to them. Perhaps more of the burnt homes, markings on the stone etched in, warmth, different symbols, names. The earth below me seems to lavish at my presence. The roots hold me as I rest, and in the morning I feel replenished. Strange. 8059. I was close. She smelled of the earth in the basement. Why? Another woman, this makes 3 definitively. I could not see her face. She stood in shadow beneath the gallows. There was a man hanging below, flailing against her hands. The sound of bones crunching, struggled gasps, the smell of his bloodstream filled my nostrils. I cowered and fled home. I should have stayed. I could have learned more. We have figured out the recipe. She inserts it into the ale for special customers. Sense of humor she has. Likes to call it an ailment.
Bam!
Clever.
Does she laugh at that?
First laugh I've had in years.
She does just kind of giggle. One of my better moments.
8060. Their meetings are sporadic, but there is always one with a 10-day. I have found strange markings akin to those by the window frame and on the stones of the burnt homes. Meetings. I found 1. 3 again. 1 different. That makes at least 4. Notes of conversation. I will hide them at the location and copy their contents here. They seem to feel my presence as I approach. I swear one looked in my direction, but I was over 100 feet away. Staring, piercing eyes. Burnt home again. As they left, I found the severed leg of a young woman. They are hunters. I can be certain of that now. They seem to serve in pairs. Partners must be safer. 8061. They do not drain the victim entirely. Not always. Some bodies are alive as they are dragged away. I could not follow where. The smell of their blood, repulsively sumptuous. A drunkard came in, claimed his wife died from the rot. Luna asked more for me. He said it was a rat that bit his wife, but when he stomped on it, it didn't die. It squished beneath his boot, but when he raised his foot, the body was gone. Heard footsteps rush out his house, and the door open. Wife fell ill, bite marks on her ankle. She asked more patrons, a couple similar cases. Rodents spread the rot, not the dwarves? Or did the rodents simply carry it further after the dwarves died? Did one of them survive? More memories of the rot. A dozen dwarves. I remember most of them dying in my quarantine. The vacant homes of Slums North. Burnt. They burned the homes. Why? The dirt below the homes. Black. Like the cellar. No one goes near. No one rebuilds. 8062. The men brought a young girl with them, about 6. Said she saw one of the sisters doing something strange, foul-smelling, her eye affixed to the girl, but her head did not turn with it. Another blood-stained area, but no body.
Desiel's eye.
Why take it? The first man, he looked grotesque when they were done with him. Tormented. They took their time with him. The earth beneath my feet moved when I brought back a piece of the dead man, as though it craved the flesh on his face. Something has bothered me about the rodents. I rarely see them in the city, yet there are frequent complaints in homes, as though they crave shelter more than food. The dwarf who saw something in the mines, did he say it was embedded in the walls of the cavern? The earth? The vines? How far do they reach? She asked her friend from the bookstore about the plant. Didn't know much more, but recommended an older herbalist in the city. This plant, we use it in the ale. I scratched through the dirt below my casket and found the same vines, twisting as though bending the earth to its will, blooming white buds, same odor, same color, a perverse modification or adaptation. I found a man who knew of the rodents, said that some of them act strangely, intelligently, swears he saw some in a group, standing on hind legs, taking turns squeaking. He said talking, but that is senseless. Perhaps his perception was more on point than I imagined. followed a pair of rats as they left Drunkard's Only Hope, split off as they got back to Slums West, tracked one into an alley, disappeared behind a barrel, man popped up, ripped clothing, same disgusting odor. Interrogating him didn't lead to much, left him unconscious in the alley after. Found the man dead the next night, laying there, arms over his face, terrified or gasping, bite marks all over his face and neck, tiny pairs of punctures. He said the rats were more than just rats. Perhaps he was onto something. Did the rot change them? Or was it something else? There are days when I swear the high towers watch over me as I pass swiftly through the night, vigilant, unmoving, an indescribable feeling. I shudder and bury my face in my cloak. 8063. A young woman attacked me in the street last night as I leapt down from the tavern. They seem to know when I am watching and do not enter whatever is hidden in the foundation of the burnt home here. Her dagger sharp, but my wound healed quickly. I have had her ask of potential rumors, of organized faiths that have seeped their way into the city. So far she has found nothing, but believes they would communicate in secret. How does one communicate without words? No notes. There was a gathering of rodents by the Toasted Lady, but they must have caught my scent and dispersed. Unable to discern a pattern from the tracks or their route. Upsettingly intelligent. The small girl, Abigail, didn't she say something about a foul, acrid odor in the orphanage? I hesitate to bring her into the cellar to expose her to the horrors here with me. I let her smell a vial of the dirt, said it was similar, but couldn't be sure. The men I hired have gone missing. They didn't show at the mausoleum for their payment. Reports say the men were found and killed by commoners. Guess they weren't worth the gold.
True.
Nothing about us in there.
Yet.
Well, that is a lot of things.
Do any of you remember the orphanage smelling that way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember Decio?
The tea?
The tea?
Correct. The orphanage itself did not have that odor. The tea and the dirt had the odor.
The orphanage smelled fine.
Mm-hmm.
You did not smell the tea?
I pull out the jar of dirt again.
Smelled like that.
I suppose you did smell the tea, actually. Just not at the orphanage.
Right.
Yeah, that's what it smelled like.
But the orphanage itself didn't stink.
No. Yeah, that's weird.
Oh, sorry, the kettle. Weirdest kettle in the world, I'm sorry.
It's just a little ghost.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Your tea's ready.
Your water's boiled!
I don't suppose that information is helpful to you?
Well, we know where the...
Partially, yes. I was to have... Well, I attempted to follow up with the herbalist that we discussed.
Mm-hmm.
Is that, Serafina?
Oh, no.
No.
There is another herbalist,
There's another herbalist.
in the slums, in the west sides. His name is Adrian. He operates the Brood Wing.
BROOD or...
BREWED.
Okay.
He's at the end of the street.
You attempted to follow up with him.
Yes, he's not the most polite man and isn't truly very fond of me. He's an elf like I am, but seems a bit more highbrow than me.
Is he also from Feorn?
Never asked, dear. It's not usually very partial to conversations with me. I'm, I guess, a little too lowbrow for him.
I know this, Adrian.
Do you?
I do. He is not off-putting toward me.
Perhaps you could ask him yourself.
Perhaps.
Interesting. Whew.
Well, seems we know where to find the flowers.
Yes, in the basement, didn't really bloom before Corin. The dirt was always strange and foul-smelling, but I didn't have the white blossoms until Coram arrived.
There are a lot of skulls down there. Maybe related to that, perhaps. There's a lot of skulls. Like a box.
It sounded
This-
like from his notes, feed on flesh.
Yes,
and
that would
Everything else.
that would explain the box of skulls.
That would explain the hunting.
Yes.
So you think Corin was feeding the dirt?
Raising.
Fertilizing?
Feed me.
Feed me, Seymour.
Drink their blood and then
Well,
feed them
He's
to
a
the dirt.
vampire.
A little gruesome. You trusted this man?
Yes. He's a
He's a
great
very
man.
nice man.
He's a great man.
Hi, everyone.
He did.
Feed it to the
he
dirt.
brought me back from the dead.
Yeah, he did keep Nesgrim from going to an early grave.
Yeah, he brought me back from the dead.
Much to my chagrin, but it's fine.
We did try to hurry him on.
I'm the monster. Okay.
You're fucking
You're
green.
green.
It is the green. I would have taken him across the river, but
I don't know if I can make the flowers temporarily bloom. They crumble almost immediately.
Yes, Druid Craft as well, and you watch as she spreads her hands and does the same thing with predicting the weather. I've tried myself over the years, never able to sustain them. It's as though my magical powers are, I wouldn't say insufficient, but not the nourishment it requires.
Would you be opposed to us looking at the basement again?
I can't go back down there.
Well, why not?
It tried to
it's
kill me.
trying to take her home because she allowed Nesgrim to be saved. So it is trying to.
I just wonder if maybe we can feed the vines something other.
Do
than-
you have a body in your pockets that I am unaware of?
And you do have some bones.
I do
yes?
have bones, but that is not.
I'm hoping it's not flesh, but blood
I-
that feeds them.
Well,
You
considering
wanted to say
Corin
something?
likely.
Why don't we take some of the vines?
That's easier said than done.
I mean, taking the vine. It's
They're
not the vines that we need. It's
Pretty
the
big
flowers.
vines.
How big?
Remember that when Retora cut the vine, the separated fragment broke into
Yeah.
almost ash. It crumbled in her hands. So you obviously weren't here for that, but you would recollect that segmented fragment dispersed.
Maybe it's just blood the vines require and not flesh.
I
And
would
whose
think
blood?
that Corin would drink all the blood.
That is what I would say as well. I think he drinks the blood and then feeds the flesh to the vines and then puts the bones in a box.
Maybe. I'd like to try to see. If blood does not work, then
Whose
Like
blood
a-
would you
like a
like to
sandwich?
use?
Remember also that the casket that was hit with the figure of the person
Right,
that
right,
you
right.
smacked, his blood drained into the ground as well. I will remind you both
Oh,
of
and
that.
then the vines grew right
And then
after
the
that,
vines
yes.
grew and lapped up at it greedily.
So
and did we
does like
see
the
any more
blood.
blossoms following that?
Blossoms?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
You just saw them kind of like pulsate and engorge.
I'm gonna have to go back into that basement.
I think we should at least try.
Paul, I'm so sorry. Welcome back, buddy.
It couldn't
What
hurt.
are you doing?
We're
here?
already
And I'm
here.
looking at Luna.
I mean,
What the fuck?
maybe it makes more sense to start with the herbalist.
We could.
If he knows the answers, then we would not have to do the experimentation ourselves.
Sounds good.
True.
yes, I
I
do not wish to go back into that basement if we do not have to.
I fear that
You will probably be consumed.
At least then we would
I have many
some of the
vendettas
bones.
with these vines.
And bones.
This is not the only one.
She probably has good bones.
Yes.
What?
Sorry.
I'm very small.
She has a vendetta with vines?
Yes.
Size is irrelevant when it comes to bones.
What do you mean?
It's like a quality over quantity
Yes.
sort of thing.
Yes. Give me only the
Did
best.
nobody else
only
hear
the
that?
best bones.
Here, what?
What?
Ventura has a vendetta with vines?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's established.
Oh, yes.
Everyone
Yes.
knows.
That shit's
we-
canon.
Yes, we have had many a conversation about it.
Luna, did you work with Korn at all in regards to the riots in Slums North? Did you speak to him at all about that?
What do you mean work with him? It was 12 years ago.
Sorry, speak to him. Did he talk at all about...
His memories were, I guess you could say, fragmented, so he didn't really, in the beginning, when I found him several years ago, didn't really remember much of it. He didn't even remember his name at first.
What do you recall from the Slums North riots?
Oh, well, I mean, I didn't live there.
Right.
I just remember people being hanged. I remember the news was not reported for a few days because of it. Didn't want anything to, I guess, alarm anyone else in the other districts. We had a few cases, as Corin indicated, of people in Slums West coming down with the rot, but those people were removed from the city by the officials of the cathedral.
Okay. That's about what I understand as well. I just wanted to see if maybe you had any further information. I'm right, thank you though.
No, just what Corin indicated to me. But maybe more in time.
Understood. Would y'all like to go see Adrian?
I need to take this back to Clark and Madeline first.
Yes, of
She
course.
needs it.
We will get that back to her and then return to speak with Adrian, and then perhaps venture back into the horrible basement of death.
I will tell you that the Brood Wing is at the end of this street and would be on the way.
On the way? Okay.
Cool. All right.
We have to be quick. Stop there first.
So yeah, if you guys
Okay.
want to stop there, it would make more sense for you for your use of your time because... Okay. So, yeah, we
Get
say
up.
I'll stay closed for the night then, and if you would like to return here, we'll have a bit of a friendly inaugural feast.
Tonight, you mean?
Yes. Come back for dinner. I might have some other friends to introduce you to
Oh, great.
who could assist us in these matters.
Luna,
Yes.
just a moment before I go. I do
Yes.
not wish to alarm you, but I'm going to communicate with you without speaking momentarily. If that would be alright.
Yeah. Weird things happen in this
He's
city sometimes.
literally
He's
fucking
green. I get it. It's
what?
fine.
What the... In your head, fuck you.
You wouldn't understand.
The flying bread.
Weird fucking city, you guys.
Yes.
It's okay.
Awesome.
And to her mind.
Mm-hmm.
What Ether was about to tell you in regards to the men that attacked Corin,
Yes.
it seemed as though they were monks from the inner sanctum.
He seemed to be afraid that they watched him more closely over the last few years, as though they were becoming aware of his presence in the city.
They, two of them, awakened ones, he called them.
Yes.
They
Yes.
followed him back to your basement and cornered us
Oh.
in order to save Corin and Maribel. We fought them and they did not survive.
Okay, are there fucking bodies in my basement then that I need to take care of?
I believe that the dirt ate the bodies.
Does she make a face?
Yeah, you can see that, like, she rolls up her sleeve and, like, is standing as though she's genuinely prepared to go take care of that.
So-
and then she just...
Does she seem like super, like, all right, let's take...
Yeah, no,
not,
she kind of, like, sighs.
not again.
It's a dangerous fucking basement you have, actually.
Yeah, you know, kind of just wanted to keep that my own little storage cellar, but Corin came along and
Yes, well,
didn't think it would become a person-eating basement.
I took
Guess it's
his
good to have
notes and I broke the fragments of writing off of the wall that Corin had scratched into the stone.
Good.
I collected some of the pieces so that they could not be mended.
Okay.
As I said, the bodies were taken care of, although there was a casket down there. You seem to know that was there.
Yes, I will, I'll have some of my employees, and I will, while you all are gone speaking with Adrian, we'll give it a good tidying up.
As long as they are employees that are aware that casket is full of skulls, as Yethir said.
Oh, yes, we have a fair grouping here that will, operate with discretion.
I do not know what became of the clothing of these monks. Some of those that were with us that evening gathered up the weapons. We intend to keep them hidden, for obvious reasons.
Yes, don't be seen with blades of the brothers.
I thought it would be best that you know that this occurred, since it was at your establishment.
Thank you, Yalumlo. I will also say, it might not be the worst thing to keep those blades. If they were able to hurt Corin, they may be able to hurt things like him.
Point well taken. I will make sure that those of us that are in possession of such weapons understand the practicality of their use.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
And you can see that she just kind of steps back from the table, like the countertop even more, and turns and just kind of like fixes her shirt. Well, everyone, give me a few hours and I'll have a lovely dinner prepared for all of you, and I'll get the other guests and members ready to meet you.
Members of,
I'm sure we will find that out when we return.
Yes.
I suppose.
We're quite a group, just like you all.
Do you have a green one that makes bread fly?
Not makes bread fly.
Oh.
He's green, though.
Farewell.
All right.
And she
Okay.
just
There are
opens
more?
the door back towards her kitchen.
Nothing to read into
It's not
there.
like body paint.
No.
Just
Okay.
like try to
He could.
wipe it off.
What if he is
Painted.
cursed? Not you.
The other one.
The other one.
I mean, maybe.
Maybe.
This one, definitely.
Of course.
I mean, you don't get that green or that wet without some sort of curse.
Mm-hmm.
At least not where I come from.
What do you mean?
I mean that I don't know anyone that is green or cursed.
Do you know
Or
anyone that
wet.
is cursed?
No, you. But not prior. I mean Mary Bell. But she wasn't green. Not cursed like you.
But if she's... Never mind.
Okay. Shall we proceed to the brood wing then and
Sure, but we
talk
must be
briefly?
quick.
Yes, of course. We must get to Clark as well very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Let us
Okay.
go.
Rush out.
Yeah, so we hurry along the street towards the eastern edge once more, back along the length of the wall, and Yalumlo directs us to the store a few doors in towards the brood wing, which you can see is a sprawling, looks as though it winds around itself, like similar to the tower where, you know, you would have stairs around it, but like it's a wooden structure, so you can see there's spiraling, gnarled bark pieces of wood that wrap around this single-story building. And you can see that inside it is very dimly lit, as though there are torches towards the back, but nothing towards the front. So as you would peer in the door, or peer in the windows, adjacent to the doors, you would see sprawling like long, what looks like velvet curtains that disguise things along the walls, and as though it makes it to where it is a vacuous space that pulls you back to a horizon point at the edge, where you can see a small countertop illuminated behind it with 2 lanterns, and you can see the figure of what looks like an older looking man with a robe. It looks like it is a long, like, light gray robe.
Before we go in here, I just want to be very clear that we should not share more than we need to get the information about the vines.
I agree.
Of course.
Not everyone is going to be as amenable as Luna has been.
It is true. It is possible we would be thrown out for bringing it up at all.
Are you already familiar with Adrian?
I am.
Would you like us to wait outside while you go in and speak to him?
I believe possibly my presence may...
I think that Ritora could be of help, as she has a history with this particular plant.
Yes.
And I am not in charge of the green one.
I will be entering the shop.
I kind of figured he would say that.
We should all go inside then,
Yeah,
and
I
perhaps
suppose.
just let Yalom Lo introduce us or do the majority of the talking.
I think that's a good idea.
It's very good.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So I will pull down the mask and
Mm-hmm.
enter.
Here we go.
And you open the door, and you hear it softly creak. You can see that this has a set of steps that kind of ascends upwards, as though this building is on a genuine, proper foundation and elevated. Much unlike any of the other buildings in Slums West. This building looks carefully and well constructed with wood interiors lining the floors. The walls, as I said before, you can't really see. As you're walking through them, you feel kind of like your movement parting the curtains lightly. And you can see that lining the walls as the curtains part very slightly. You can see tall standing bookcases and like credenzas aligned with all kinds of glassware and other things. You see smoking like little vials where it looks as though they're still containing smoke from previously brewed things that have been dispersed out from it.
Does it feel like claustrophobic?
It feels a little claustrophobic because as you're stepping through it, it narrows further and further to that central point to where this almost feels as though the building is shaped triangularly. And as you guys are taking a few steps inside, bathing yourself in the little bit of warmth that is available in this building compared to the cold outside, you see this figure with the grayish cloak turn, and as he does, he pulls the hood of the cloak back as he hears the door open. And you can see that it is a medium height elvish man, very slender, very pale porcelain skin, long knotted auburn hair, and dark brown eyes. Looks very similar to Adrian as you know him to be. But he is standing behind his small, flat, rectangular countertop at the back here, and you can see that lining the front of the countertop are various heights and shapes and decorative bottles and vials. Oh my,
Good day, Adrian.
this is quite a grouping.
Yes, we simply have a couple of questions about some plants that we think you may know something about.
Oh my, I hope we all are interested in making purchases as
course.
well.
Of course.
Lovely.
I look at my purse, count how many coins.
I'm going to
I
start
have-
perusing bookshelves.
Oh my god.
Huh. So you
were-
go to part a curtain. Do not touch.
Oh, I'm
Nesgrim,
sorry.
chill.
Careful where your fingers wander, sir. You don't know what you might find.
Oh my god!
That
I
sounded-
peek behind the curtain.
Yeah, so as he's like going to touch the velvet curtains, you can kind of see what looks like decrepit creatures contained in small vials, similar to Glenn's case. I will say that. You can see...
Bunch of wet specimens.
I've changed my facial expression.
Yeah, so you can see what looks like a small curdled creature of rodent size and shape suspended in a gray liquid. You can see adjacent to that one that contains and houses exclusively like a parted eye. It looks lizard-like in that thin, frail, like, spiral piece.
I'm over there. I'm not touching it, but I'm over there.
Yeah, so you just
I'm
look,
looking.
and you are just, like, in awe.
We should have left them outside.
No, it's fine.
It is not. These are not your things.
No, of course not. They are wonderful
You-
things, though.
Have a reverence for death.
I do, yes.
Your names. It is... And he starts gliding, like,
Oh,
smoothly
God.
around the countertop
Oh,
towards
yeah.
you. And you can see that, like, his robes are connected, like, in a low V here. And you can see that he has got this simple, like, white V-necked cotton shirt that has, like, the loose ties that we have. And he extends, like, his long, thin, bony fingers towards you.
Now, does this look like the scary hand from the vision?
From your vision?
Yes.
I mean, I wouldn't say it looks like the hand. I
Okay.
would say you might associate that shape and texture
Okay.
to a similar hand, but I can't give you a genuine...
Sure. So, like, his best friend. All right. Sure. Got it. Yeah, I'll shake his hand. My name is Ether.
So he doesn't shake your
Okay.
hand. As you reach your hand out, he grasps you by your,
good.
like,
One of
wrist
those.
and turns your hand and places his other on the back of your knuckles.
I'll put my hand over top of his.
A fan of decay?
Well,
And you feel like his fingers pinching into your
Okay.
skin.
All right.
Ether sells bones.
I do sell bones.
Oh my.
I have some in my bag if you would like to see.
Please show me your bones.
Okay.
I take my skin off.
Show
I
this
was
man
going
your
to
bones,
I was going to see
Ether.
if this man ever needed an assistant. I don't think it's me though.
I pull out some of my bone jewelry and like one long femur that I just keep with me for
Might
beating
I
people
hold
with.
it?
Sure.
Of course.
And he just takes it in both hands, and you watch as he holds it and turns it horizontally and runs his nose along the bone. Like edge to edge, like going over the joint pieces for where it's thicker. Almost
Quite the
bulbous.
connoisseur
That's
of my
odd.
products.
Oh my.
What does it smell like?
Bones.
Do you enjoy the smell of bones?
There's an indistinguishable cleanliness to this, unlike the living people that we interact with when we are needed to.
Of course.
Prefer dead people.
So I'm gonna say into his mind,
Chill.
into Yalumo's. What the fuck?
Yeah. So he holds
What's his
it
new
almost
problem?
nestled, like cradled from elbow,
He's
like
fine.
Like a
crooked
baby.
in,
He's
and he
just
runs his
eccentric.
finger along it, and you feel and watch as like he begins dragging his nail over it, and that horrible like scratching sound, like obviously not nails on a chalkboard, but like that.
Yeah.
You feel like you hear that and you feel that in your bones, and he just closes his eyes almost in ecstasy.
Adrian,
I could make you something, perhaps. If you would
I
like to purchase something, whatever you would like.
I've never been given such a delectable offer.
We're in.
Might I keep this?
Of course.
you know to what this belongs?
This would have probably been one of the bones from one of the people we killed in the chapel. A man,
A man.
human man specifically.
A man has a story,
Yes,
and his bones carry it.
yes, indeed they do.
Ether knows that very well, actually.
Yes, I very much do.
One of the things he specializes in.
You specialize in it.
How have they
Yes.
not met already?
That's a good fucking question.
I don't stay in the city much. We went
Yeah.
over
You
this.
have a bone museum.
Yes,
That's true enough. You should tell him about your bone museum.
I am a terrible salesman.
Perhaps you could take him back to your bone tent.
I do have a museum full of bones.
Museum.
While he's distracted, is there anything else that I can hear behind?
man.
Like
I love
pulling
this
one of
guy.
the
Like
curtains.
away from him, like the
Sure,
other side
on the
of
opposite
shop.
side. Yes, you pull one of the curtains very slightly aside on the opposite side, on like where his back would be as he is distracted by Ether. And as you pull the curtain aside, you see various smaller bottles, maybe only like 2 to 3 inches in height. They look like they have various like sprigs of plants and small little leafy herbs. Not everything that this man has in his jars are these horrifying mementos to something for him.
Right. So that's the bad side. This is the plant side.
Yes,
Got it.
bad side, plant side.
Still looking at books.
You're still looking at what?
Books.
Books?
Any books I see.
There's not books.
no books.
No, there's no books.
Why?
I'm just saying. You might want
fair.
to take a peek for your feathered friends in this shop.
No, I'm kidding. Your owl's not in
I
here.
didn't think you would be,
No,
but I got a
I
little.
wouldn't do that to you.
Yeah, you would.
He's in the basement.
I know, I 100% would. So yeah, he's still cradling this femur that you have given to him and like holding it up now. The story of this man. Have you seen it?
A small piece of it, a mistake that he made.
A watcher.
Yes,
You're a watcher?
I suppose I do watch things. Is that a term for people?
My.
This guy has such hard eyes for Ether at this point.
You.
He's pitching a tent. Like, what's going on?
He's got his own bone tent.
He already blew his
Yes,
load.
his robes pushed out.
He's got his own bone tent going right now.
Big!
Is he no longer gliding? Like,
No, he's standing here, but you can see he is trembling with like
yeah.
excitement.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hide behind Nezgrim.
You see. You watch.
Yes, sometimes.
And what is it that you see when you look beyond the curtains?
Generally things that led them down the path that ultimately resulted in their death.
Oh my. I think you should come with me.
Okay.
And he starts turning towards the back areas of his shop and slowly starts gliding over there. Very swift, careful footsteps.
Might
though.
my friends join us?
No.
Okay.
There are particular services I don't offer to other.
Non-watchers, I understand. And
I start
Indeed.
walking.
I would love to see through your eyes.
How might that work?
And he just turns and extends like a long, narrow finger and just beckons.
Could you just clarify on that one point for a moment? I'm fine with everything else up until that particular sentence.
A man who
I gotta get rid of this Kali Mosh shit. This is
A man who sees shouldn't close his eyes.
I'm gonna say into Ether's mind, goodbye.
So yeah, you watch as he walks around the side, and he comes to this parting in the curtains behind where his countertop is, and he presses his hands and parts the curtain, and you guys can see that behind there is a tall, narrow, black door, like black wood.
I'm gonna reach out to Ether and just give him, like, a look.
If I do this, perhaps he will give us the information that we need, and if I don't, he may kick us out and we will get nothing. He clearly likes bones. His shop is full of things that I enjoy.
Could you have Malo contact us if you need us?
I have not seen Malo in some time, and she does things on her own. I do not control what she does.
I'm sure that Ether will be fine. He is a grown man. And then to his mind, be fucking careful.
So as he walks behind the counter and he pauses at the door, he stops and he turns to his counter, and you watch as he pulls up. You hear the glass of something slide along what feels like obviously would be a ledge beneath his counter, and he pulls this tall standing rounded shaped flat bottom jar, and inside of it you can see suspended once more in liquid an enormous eye, engorged and pulsating.
Is that a familiar looking eye?
Yeah, like
Similar
the
to
nerve
that
root.
Desiel?
You may make that association if you would like to make that association with an engorged eye. Fair enough by my standards. It would look similar to it, an uprooted, distended eye in liquid, suspended, and he places it on the counter. Do not touch.
We won't.
My friend. My fellow disciple.
I don't know if I would go that far. Friend, yes, but I am my own person.
I think you don't know how far you've already gone. And he reaches over towards the doorknob, and you watch as he twists it, and you hear the door start to crack. Hurry. And he pulls the door open, and you can see that it descends into a staircase.
Not another basement!
I'm not too fond of basements, to be perfectly honest. I would feel more comfortable if at least one of my friends could come with us. I am happy to help you with what you would like, but...
A friend?
Yes?
You said I'm your friend. I'm coming with you.
That is true, but we have only just met and I have known these people for some time.
Perhaps Ether would be more comfortable if I could come along as well.
This is a journey for special souls like ours.
Perhaps you could elaborate?
The way your friend is gifted.
Yes. You as well?
A similar gift of sight.
I cannot speak to gifts of sight, but perhaps Nesgrim here is a good candidate. He has actually died.
What have you
And you watch as he releases the door and slides over towards you, hands outstretched.
Oh man!
I thought we were giving information freely.
As he's approaching Nesgrim, I will warn you, he is not the best with his tongue. He is kind of an idiot.
Very blunt.
Socially.
And you watch as, like, he grabs your hand with one, and you watch as he slides this long handkerchief-like cloth. Here you are.
What is this for?
We must be quiet when we are looking, lest we wander in accidentally to one another's visions.
What visions?
Your friend would know. And I feel if you've tasted death, you would know as well.
I've felt the cold floor of death, yes.
The glass floor.
This guy's gonna make you strangle him to death.
Come along,
Awesome.
my new friend.
I'm still hiding behind.
I'm sorry, I did not introduce myself. My name is Nesgrim.
Beautiful name.
What a fucking name!
I will add it to the engravings.
Engravings? What engravings?
Downstairs.
Oh my god, this is.
I'm gonna turn to Eth here. Are we
Come on,
doing
let's
this?
go. Yep.
Good luck, boys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
The rest of us will behave ourselves up here in your shop.
Yep.
I trust that these two will be returning with you.
They will.
Very well.
Oh, they will. And he visibly gulps and licks his lips.
I grabbed Nesgrim. Don't die.
I
He will be fine.
do my
Too late.
What?
Again.
Oh, that's fine.
I will do my best to not die again. I don't
Okay.
think this man has intentions
Victoria,
of
he will
killing
be
me.
fine. And into Nesgrim's mind, I will say, be fucking careful.
And you just Nesgrim's gonna.
Nesgrim, it's me.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
It's Santa.
So you two follow him towards
You're
this
fine.
descending staircase that goes straight downwards at an angle. Well, an angular staircase that descends downwards.
Do you want us out of this room?
Please. Goodbye, friends. Papa,
Well, good
can
luck.
you hear me?
Okay, well. This'll be good.
So he opens the door, begins to descend downwards this soft wooden staircase, leading into what you would associate as the frameworks below his building. That's why it's an elevated building. As he slowly takes steps down, you can see that it concludes in another small black wooden door. And to the side of it, you can see that there is effectively a coat rack, and you watch as he slowly from behind spreads his shoulders, pulling his cloak, parting it, untying it,
Is he nude?
and then he pulls it off of him. You can see that as he removes his cloak, he is wearing thin, tightly fit, knitted, black pants.
Okay.
And you can see that he wears a thin white cotton vest that only comes shoulder straps up, so his arms are fully exposed, and you can see on his arms these black tattoos that extend from shoulder down to elbow, sleeve tattoos. You can see that they look effectively of religious symbols, of symbols that you do not distinguish, but you can see an ankh on one arm.
Okay.
On the other arm, you can see what looks like a bone dagger as the prominent piece that stands out to
Okay.
you. And he just flexes and stretches his arms. He's not very muscular, but he's suitably toned for an average build man.
Especially for an older man. Yeah.
Correct. Well, you can see that he's an elf, so he doesn't look old,
Right.
but he looks decently aged compared to you guys. And he places his hand on this doorknob. Now, Mr. Ether,
Yes.
from where did you learn to look through the eyes of the dead?
From where I grew up.
And where was that, sir? Hautano.
Yeah.
Yep.
Haltano. On the coast.
By the river.
Yes, by the river and the forest.
And is it the same river you hear in the quiet, in the dark?
I do not think so. It appears to be a different river.
But you hear a river.
I see a river.
Interesting. And he places his hand on this doorknob, and he turns it once more, and you hear it kind of like creak open, and he pulls it aside, and you can see that inside it leads to a very small square room, only about 10 by 10, and you can see that it is lined not with curtains whatsoever, but you both have dark vision, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's no light whatsoever in this room. It's pitch black. You can see that the floor in here is, again, wood lined. So this is a fully enclosed and built, constructed space.
Okay.
Along the walls that are lined with the woods.
Like dug out.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, he built up.
Yeah, right.
So these are the, like, lower
Okay,
levels.
sure,
this doesn't
sure.
actually go under the ground.
Got
This
it.
would be the framework.
Okay, sure.
On the sides of the walls are also wood constructed, as is the ceiling. So it looks like there would be another back area behind where his counter was, another door that you had not previously seen, because there is surface above where you are. You are clearly contained below the area of his shop. On the sides of the walls, you see what looks like a small desk where it has the, like a writing style desk where it's got the pull out drawer. It has the flat surface on top, but then it has the extended awning style shelf that looms a little over the writing space. On that, you can see a stone brazier similar to what you possess, and in lines adjacent to it, various potted plants with sprigs sprouting out and shaping over them. And you can see that in front of them is a skull paired with 2 candles on the opposite sides of it.
Love the decor.
I was hoping you would say that.
This is very nice.
In the center of the room, you can see that there is a small area where he has lined, in what looks like chalk or paint, a large circle. And you can see that around it are symbols, which you don't recognize because you don't utilize symbols in your ritualistic ceremonies.
Right.
But you can see that these are various geometric shapes and interconnected and woven together, lining around the outside, weaving in through the portions of the center of the circle, not coming to the center itself, but bleeding through the areas. And you watch as he walks over towards his brazier, and he grabs it, and he takes it in one hand, pulls it tight to his body, and with his long, tendrily fingers, gathers up 3 different vials, holding them together, and walks over to the center of his circle. And the dead man
No longer dead.
who walks among the living. What did you see when your eyes were closed?
Well,
And you watch as you're telling him this, he sits in the center of this, placing the brazier in front of him.
I felt chilled and exasperated. Everything around me looked empty and dark. As I looked down, I was barefoot and just standing on nothing. And soon I looked at my hands and saw they were wrinkled, and I heard an echo in the distance similar to that of a whip. And then a gruff, disgruntled voice, and then I felt heat. And as I looked around, the dark area I was in began to fill with pillars of light. Then I felt wind on my ear.
You watch as he begins to fill the brazier with the different herbs. Ether, a candle, please.
Of course.
I'll go grab it and bring it to him.
Mm-hmm. And you hand him one of the 2 candles. Continue.
Yeah, and then I felt as though the heat that I felt was growing deeper inside of me as well as outside of me. And as I began choking on nothing, I heard the slow trickle of water, which soon grew to a river. And then as I looked down, I saw many white faces.
How lovely. And he just beckons you to walk closer. Into the circle. A step, please.
Go on, Nesgrim.
I'm gonna hesitantly step into the circle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you're only a few feet ahead of him as he's sitting with his, like, Indian-style legs and this brazier in front of him. And you watch as from his pouch, like his pocket, you can see that there is a small little scabbard for a dagger, and he pulls out, very similar to Ether, one of the curved bone daggers. I ask only for a drop.
Would you mind if I did it?
Be my guest.
I'm gonna take the dagger and little pinprick.
And he gestures to the brazier that is lined with roots and other herbs and sprigs of plants, as though indicating to...
I'm gonna squeeze a drop into it.
And you watch as he just like, oh, delicious. And the blood drops, and you watch as it stains these flowers, and as soon as it does, he touches the wick of the candle, sparks his fingers, and you watch it illuminate, and in a quick motion, he dips the flame into the brazier, and you watch as the blood and the flowers begin to suddenly spark and sizzle, and smoke ascends, and you watch as he, similar to Ether, wafts the smoke into his face. And as the smoke begins to part and he looks at you, you see the face of your father.
Oh,
And we will end there.
oh my god! Oh, it's
Friends, you may come back in for our farewell.
actually so fucking cursed. Oh my god. No! Oh, fuck.
Alright, smoke from brazier.
Oh my god. That's like the worst thing ever. No. Jesus fucking
Not
Christ. Oh, Lord. Well, thanks for watching, friends. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for the follows this evening. Let me go back through them. Alami, not salami, Dusty Bone, which is appropriate. Madbird Streams, LF Stern, and Adventure K298. Thank you very much for your follows, and welcome to the Wanderers Hideaway Tavern. Also, thank you to Brian and Shelly Jelly for the subs. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you're new here, make sure you follow so you can find us again. We stream D&D 3 to 4 times a week, depending on the week. This week we will be live Wednesday evening, tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern. Friday for a Meat Grinder one-shot at 6 p.m. Eastern. And then Sunday for the campaign that I DM, Tales of Setendor, at 6 p.m. Eastern as well. You can also type !schedule, and that'll tell you when we're live and what we're doing. You can go to our website, NotGreatRPG.com, to find out all of the fun discounts that we have for you guys for tabletop-related companies. They're great, and you should go check them out on our website. You can also watch all of our previous episodes on YouTube. You can listen to them as part of a podcast, or you can look at text recaps if you want to catch up on any of the campaigns quickly, so you can hop into the action when we are live. But yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. We will see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern for Princes of the Apocalypse. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye, friends.
Good night.
So fucking great.